something a little different.
It looks good, dude. It looks good. The blue and the red. It's a good dynamic of good and evil.
I think isn't that green and red, or is that?
Bro, that's definitely blue.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, the
What,
only reason
bro?
I did
This
is because
this is green.
because there's a like color dynamic. Like I was studying a little bit on how color dynamics work.
Yeah.
And like blue is like I'm trying to think of the fucking way to explain this. Blue is like a complementary color to red. So whenever you see like blue and red together, you could tell like it's a complementary color.
True.
Same with like pink and I think green. Pink and green are both complementary colors as well.
Yeah, I would say so. I usually roll with like on the other side of my camera. Well, you can see in the small screen, the left side, like I have like pink in the corner, then green, because it kind of looks good just in general too.
I love colors.
Yeah. Kosher loves colors, fam. Okay, I just put it onto Twitter and Discord. If you want to reshare it with your community, you can. Otherwise,
I don't have
we are
do this. Immaculate exfoliation, bro. My skin is really not that nice. If I'm up close enough, you can see that there's little
love it. Wait, how do you do what?
What?
You just asked me how do you do it right before you went into. You said how do I do it, and then you said something about exfoliation. I see pastas in the chat. See Bryce in the chat.
What's cooking? Favorite noodle?
What's up, fam? Guys, this is a well. I guess we should probably intro this. Welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. We have a surprise podcast. wasn't planned until a couple hours ago. It's been sort of planned. It's kind of just like it's kind of like when you go out and say, "Hey guys, we're going out on the town tonight," and then like who knows if it really happens until about 20 minutes before everybody leaves. So it's one of those. We got Kosher Plug on the channel. Welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. In today's, I hope you guys are excited to get into it. I am Cage, your guide. I'll be your replacement of Voice of Side for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human fucking mind. If you want to say, Jesus Christ, my brain's not even on. If you haven't already, smash like this video, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. That's pretty much it, fam. And Kosher stuff is down below in the description. But we're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about NFTs and shit. We're talking about NFT projects, the future of the metaverse, WGMI. Kosher's eating plans, and I also, dude, I just watched a podcast you did back in March from this guy. He has a smaller YouTube channel, and he did ask you about the food as well. But I come from a bodybuilding background, so I understand the whole just eat stuff, eat simple shit, and I think simple tastes way better, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Also, while you're doing that intro, I swallowed wrong.
All right, Kosher's out. Podcast canceled. Podcast has been canceled.
I was trying not to cough that whole time. My eyes are even watering. How do I donate currency? S tier live show. Donate to charity and then post a picture, screenshot, and I'll retweet it.
Yeah, facts.
Boom.
Facts. Baller.
Big brain move.
Baller shit.
Hell yeah! Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I see you got a little Apple Pencil. That's kind of cool. What's that for?
The Apple Pencil. Well, I had an iPad that I used all the time. This was back, dude. I feel like every 4 months or so we go through an entire shed of an NFT market, just like an entire shedding of like what I'm about, what I'm talking about, the things I'm interested in. Like a few months ago, I was drawing on my iPad like every single day on Procreate, and I was like gonna do like an NFT project where I drew stuff too, like kind of like with my art pieces, and then like draw on top of my photography, and then like it kind of just turned into one of those things. Now I just hold it because it makes me look smarter. I saw a couple of podcasts where the guy talking had a real pencil. I don't have a real pencil, unfortunately, because I'm a digital dude, but I just kind of hold it like this because it makes me feel smart. It's the same reason I wear a watch, because I feel like watches make you like feel smarter,
Yeah, I got a watch on too. Actually, speaking of watches, I was literally I just sold one of my watches like not even like 3 hours before this call. I met up with one of my my watch dealers because I really like watches. I'm a big watch dude.
Nice.
So I met up with him because I had a I had a watch that I got a little while back. It's a cool watch. It's called the Rolex GMT Coke. It's just a cool watch. So I bought that a while back.
It's a Rolex?
I can show you a picture of it. I might have it.
This man just says, yeah, it's casually like having Rolexes sometimes. We posted the same thing. So what a flex.
I don't know if you can see on picture, but this is what it looks like.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I loved the watch, and I thought it was really cool. So I was like, okay, because I got it because recently I have a like authorized dealer in like one of these Rolex stores, it's like impossible to get one. I don't know if you know anything about watches, but like it's like impossible to get like a Rolex. Like if you could go to like 20 different dealers and you won't even get one. Like it's
I have heard that.
crazy.
I have heard it's really difficult to get. It's kind of like the Bugatti with Top G. He says you have to know the right people. You have to like you have to pull a bunch of strings and stuff like that. How'd you get it? You said?
Well, these ones I bought on secondary. So I always wanted one. The second I made a little bit of money, I'm like, okay, like I could afford one, because I used to always watch YouTube videos just on watches and stuff, because I was like, oh, these are like sick. Like I was always like a huge watch dude, a huge like shoe dude. Like I love shoes, watches, all like the cool stuff like that. So I was like, I was super into that. I thought that was super dope. So I was like, okay, my dude came and I was like, okay, I like this watch. I'm gonna get it. So I got it. And then like a couple months later, my authorized dealer actually calls me up, because like I went there, like I was talking to them, and they're like, yeah, we have a watch for you. I'm like, no fucking way. Cause like it literally takes for most cases like 6 months to like a year for like to even get a call back. And they called me back like within like a month. So I was like, oh shit. So I just picked up this watch, actually, the one that I'm wearing right now. Hard to like,
and that is also a Rolex.
Yeah,
man's just pimping out on the Rolexes. I saw you just put a tweet actually like 20 minutes ago talking about a potential Rolex giveaway.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, I was talking to him and he's like, because he's I think starting to like market a little bit more, because he sells watches. He's been selling them for a while, but he doesn't like know any marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, if you want to like give us like a shout out and we'll give away a Rolex on your channel. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll do that. Like that's sick.
Holy shit, that's wild, dude. Oh my god.
Yes, I'm probably going to be doing that at some point soon. And I think the video I'm going to be doing is like a day in the life type of video, because I feel like no one's done anything like with like an NFT degen type of like life, day in the life. I don't think anyone's done that yet. So
I've done a few day in the lives, but I'm not a degen, like even remotely close to a degen. So I have not. I don't know what that life looks like. I would love to see that. You should get like a cameraman and do like a full thing about it.
Oh, bro, I'm too cheap for that. I just pick up my camera and just walk around the house. Now, bro, literally, it would just be like good morning, everybody. It'd be like 7:30 p.m. or something. It'd be like, good morning, everybody. Just waking up for the day. First thing I like to do is grab a coffee, which is literally every morning.
Jesus
I grab
Christ.
a coffee.
That's well, hold on. That's 7:30 p.m. though, so it's not really morning. You wake up at 7 o'clock in the afternoon and you drive to Dunkin' to get a coffee.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dunkin' Donuts, since my sleep is really messed up, to get Dunkin' Donuts at like the times that I'm usually awake is impossible, because there's no 24-hour Dunkin' really anymore ever since COVID. Like there's like no 24 hours.
So Dunks actually like completely shut that down. They never brought it back.
No, I don't think it's come back. It's everything lately has just been like ever since COVID, bro. Like everything used to be open 24/7. And it was like perfect, because like my sleep was always messed up. So I was always waking up like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. and like I'd be eating dinner around like 11 p.m. You know, so like now it's like impossible. Like even with Chipotle, they close at 10, so they close in like 2 hours from now. And I just woke up like 3 hours ago, so it's like it's kind of an issue.
Guys, I texted Coach. I was like, yo, let's do the pod. And I was like, how does this time sound? He's like, well, that's not possible. I was like, what the fuck, dude? But I feel you. I've never really passed. I think probably I had an average of maybe like 1 p.m. was probably as late as I would wake up usually. And that's just because like I would go to sleep at maybe 4 or 5. But that's only like I feel like that's for like phases. Like most of the time, honestly, I spend like 30% of my life trying to fix my sleep schedule, so I can feel you there. I just kind of like got back in it like 3 days ago. We'll see how long it lasts. I've been really trying to like get up by like 9 a.m. and get things done and like get everything started after taking care of my shit at like 11, 12. And it's been okay. It's been okay. But I feel like for me, it only makes sense because like no one else is awake. Like I guess I'm PST. So like I'm 3 hours behind already. So if I wake up at 9, for everybody else it's fucking noon. So like I have to like get the ball rolling quick. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not. I don't even know. I'm so used to like people just not being up. Like I'm in like it almost feels like I'm in a different time zone. So it's like. But it's kind of nice though, because otherwise, like I would just be getting spammed all day. Like people are up and messaging me and asking me for things. But like when I wake up later, like I have so much more free time to just like do what I sort of want to do. So that's what's lovely. But yeah, I would like to wake up normal people time. And also, Pasta says how like investing in Rolex watches beats gold in real estate. Yes, it's insane. There's like especially right now. I think that like the Daytona went up like over like. Not 100%, but I think like 80% in value, even like during like this entire bear market. So it's like, it's wild. So it's like, you could definitely find money to be made in other places other than just like NFTs and crypto.
Yeah, dude. Right now it's a very weird market. I just did a 5x on a meme coin called Top G, and I literally made a bunch of money. And then I was like, oh, sick. And then I did another, so I did a 10x total. I didn't get the other half of that, but things are happening random, like in the meme world. But also, you're right. I've heard a lot of people talk about the watch. I feel like what's his name, Iman, Godsey, and a couple other bigger people talked about watches and started to bring it up as like an investment. People kind of looked at it as buying it to flex because that's why most people buy the watches. But do you know anything about that world as far as actually flipping it and trying to buy it as an investment?
Yeah, I know a good amount on watches, Rolex mainly, Audemars Piguet and stuff like that. I'm not really like a huge person into those. Same with Patek. Like I don't really know as much on those type of watches as I do Rolex. Like Rolex, I kind of know like the models that people want. Like people really like Daytonas. People really like dates and Datejust and stuff like that. The same thing with the Coke. The Coke is a model like the one that I showed you before. That one's a model that hasn't been out like I think since like 2001. Like the one that I had was a vintage piece from 1997. So like they haven't been made in a while. So the value is kind of just slowly going up on them, just like a tiny bit over time, because usually that like submariner like type of style, like people like that because it's like that's what you think of when you think of a Rolex. You think of like that I don't know how to explain like that border design and like the black face. Like that's what people really like, those type of watches for sure.
Yeah, 100%. What was I gonna say? I got distracted. I saw Zerk's comment here. What's up, Zerk? It looks like everybody's awake right now. I forgot the boys in Europe are like just getting their days. Well, I guess their day's getting kind of started. It's really early over there, isn't it? It's like 5 p.m. here. Zerk, you up, dude? Is this like 7 a.m. for you? So I see Pasta's awake right now. He woke up 2 hours ago, 8 a.m. in Australia. Damn. So our international fam is waking up early. Is that the move? 1 a.m. for Zerk. Never mind.
I actually was on a call with Pasta like the other day. I was just chatting it up with Pasta. Yeah, I love cool, Pasta. Dude. Pasta's the GOAT. I love Pasta.
Cool. He's a cool dude, bro. We gotta get him onto the podcast too. I was able to hang out with him in NFT NYC a little bit. Oh, by the way, that's where we formally met for fucking a little bit. Like we didn't get that much time because it was fucking slammed, super busy. How'd you enjoy it?
Bro, it was fun. Like, bro, I got super sick after NFT NYC. I had COVID like a day after, so I was like,
everyone was hurting.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, realistically, like I was okay. Like I wasn't like, I mean, my immune system's decent. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I was dying of COVID. Like,
yeah,
like, I just felt like shitty for like a week, and that's it. And yeah, it was just kind of unpleasant. It was more so just like a hindrance than anything. It wasn't like I was like in pain or anything. So that's at least the positive of that aspect.
What was your favorite part? Do you remember anything from STYC, or was it a blur?
It was fun. I don't know if you went to the. Were you at the Kaiju King event? I don't
no, think, I skipped that. I think I skipped. I went home. I think.
I know that you were at the bar that we were at.
Yeah, well, I was there for a couple hours with you guys. Yeah, you guys ended up pulling out, and I think going there, and then I ended up staying there for like another hour, and then I think we ended up leaving from there. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I think after that we went to the Kaiju King event, and that was super fun. Everyone was there. Like that was the best event in my opinion. I went to the Goblin Town event where K Money was like performing with like Steve Aoki and stuff. The line was like insane.
I remember. It was we saw each other for like 10 seconds in the line while there was a bunch of people. I didn't get in, so you got inside.
Yeah, the only reason I got inside is because I really had to take a piss. So I was walking by and I saw K Money and I was like, yo, bro, like, can you let me in? I just gotta pee and then I'll leave. And he's like, nah, bro, just come in. I'm like, bet. So I went in, took a leak, and I was like, okay, like the party was cool. Not my style though. Like everyone's like fucking just like doing Molly and just like like all smoking and like not my type of thing. Like I like if we're going to like a bar or club, like I'd rather them not play like Hey There Delilah and shit. Like I'd rather just be like a good vibe, just like nice rap music. Everyone just like chilling, drinking, not like smoking in the club and shit. That's not my thing. So yeah, that was that. And I think K Money had like some issue with whatever happened there. So all around it was just weird. It was a weird vibe. It was very weird vibe.
Just like Goblin Town, you mean?
Alvin Town?
You said at Goblin Town, you mean it was a weird vibe?
Oh yeah. It was super weird vibe inside there. And the thing is, like, everyone was pissed because they were waiting online for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was like super like low key. Like no one really knew about it. It was like, so everyone was just confused about it. I did get a free burger though, so shout out to Goblin Town for giving me a free burger.
Dude, so we showed up around the same time. I think you guys were there maybe a few minutes before us, and so we were in the line a little bit. We jumped to the front. I know Nikki G or someone got us to the front of the line, and then we were there for probably like 20 minutes. And then we were with a couple of people. And we were just like, bro, I don't even have a goblin. I was like, I don't fucking want to be here anymore. I didn't even know about the burgers. So I missed out on the burgers. We ended up pulling out and then leaving. But how? So hold on, Kate Money you just saw him and you were like, let me in, and they just let you walk in. It was like super high security.
Yeah, bro, it was so weird because like it's legit. K Money just walked right in. Like he just went around and just walked right in. It was so weird. And I remember there was someone that was with K Money at the time who like snuck in, and he was like pissed because like he wasn't like he just like I don't know, like something happened. Like K Money was like yelling at him. So like I remember that, and I was like, oh shit, like is K Money gonna be mad at me too for coming in? But K Money's like, nah, like you're good. And I'm like, okay, I just wanted to verify it. Yeah, it was cool.
Did you do any filming?
Style, though.
Did you do any filming while you're out there? None.
No, none. Not even that picture.
Bro, we got a photo. What do you mean?
Yeah, but like not like a pic. Like I wasn't like snapping pictures.
Oh,
like yeah. Other people took pictures. I'm not really like I'm more of like an in the moment type of person. I'm not really like a person who's like always just like filming things. Mm-hmm. I think that you enjoy things a lot more when you're not in that aspect of 100%. Like trying to make content. If I was to do anything, I would probably like have a camera person, but we already had a camera person there, which was really cool. He took a lot of like video content, picture content, just of everyone. It was fun. Like I think that if you're taking pictures of your lifestyle and like almost showing it off constantly, then I feel like you're not really enjoying it to the fullest. Like if that's your first like intuition is to take a picture of it. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I remember I did vlogging for a long time and I hated every second of it, especially if I was traveling and I wanted to like document. If you're documenting, it's a little bit different. If you're not caring about like the aesthetic of what it looks like and trying to set up angles and put the camera ahead of you so you can walk toward it and like nail transitions and stuff like that, that stuff gets really in the way. And so if you have like a cameraman that's like you guys did, that was a great idea. And I probably should have done that. But for me, I didn't really care what was going on. I had my camera with me. And I just like anything that was cool, I just turned it on, but I didn't really look at the camera. I just had it on my chest like this. And I would just be like there basically in the moment, but just like it was recording. And so when I was going to edit it afterwards, when I was at home, it was like watching it for the first time kind of, but I like didn't remember recording any of it. I was just kind of there in real time at the same time. But yeah, it was a fucking great time. And there was something you said earlier about, I forget what it was, it had something to do with your DMs. What are most of your DMs looking like right now?
I hate looking through my DMs. It's always a lot of garbage. It's usually just people like, yo, like, can you promote this product, or can you talk about this or that, or it's never like how are you doing? It's how can you help me? Like if someone's like,
someone please DM Kosher and ask him how he's doing right now. I
feel like if this is, I feel like some alpha for people who are watching. If you want to sort of get into contact with people who are sort of, I guess, quote unquote influencers, because I don't like to use that term. Like if you want to get into contact with them, the best thing to do is do something different. Do something for them first, because whenever someone contacts me, they don't do anything for me. Like they're just like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And if you want to like almost win friends and influence people, this is a book I'm actually reading right now. The best thing to do is do what people want. Like don't do what you want, do what people want. So if someone DMs me saying like, yo, like I edited this video for you for free. Let me know your thoughts. I'm looking for a job right now. And I thought that this could be a really cool outlet for you and blah, blah, blah. Like if someone sends me that and edits a video of mine for free, like I would be like, holy shit, like that's sick. And that's actually how I found my editor now. Like he made an edit for me for free and I'm like, yo, this is sick. What are your rates? And I hired him the next day. And he right now, just from like reaching out and doing that creative type of strategy where he did something for me first, he has a full-time job, and I think he gets paid about like $5,000 a month from like all of the different YouTubers that he works for right now. So he's making a good amount of money, and I believe that he is in Mexico. So like $5,000 US over there is a lot more.
Yeah. So he's pulling bucks in right now. Goddamn.
Yeah. So he's living pretty good, and it's great to see because he's very talented and he's a very smart dude.
Wow. Yeah. Props to him. Yeah, I agree. There is a way to go about it, and honestly, this is something that transcends the NFT space. This goes into DMing girls even. If you can not be so focused on trying to get something, that first message, that first interaction with them, it's usually a lot better. Like for example, if someone that I'm super stoked about follows me, I'll usually shoot them a DM and say, yo, like something like nice to meet you, or like something like love your videos, some bullshit like that. I don't even know, something like that, where it's just like, hey, nice to meet you, I'm acknowledging that you followed me, cool, let's just meet, kind of thing. And then that's typically it, 2 or 3 messages total through that whole conversation. And then if I'm like, hey, I want to do a podcast, then a few weeks later, a couple months later, I can reach out, and I have that first message established, that connection established. But if you never have that connection established, I think that's really huge for building that connection. If you can shoot like just a hey message, some kind of thing like that. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, because usually you're the person with the big amount of followers, but
I mean, I don't like to think of myself like that. I just, in general, I sort of like to, like, I agree with the connections part, but I feel like a lot of the time, like when I do see those people trying to make connections, it almost comes off disingenuous to me, because it kind of feels like they're trying to use me for something, because I'm just so inclined to think that way,
sure.
which is not really a good mindset to have. But that is what I'm sort of used to now at this point, because just all the time people are reaching out to me and almost trying to like use my platform. So it's like, and that might sound arrogant, but that's just how I feel a lot of the time, is that people are trying to sort of use me for that. Sometimes like I gotta sort of like think to myself, like are they hitting me up just to to be chill, or are they hitting me up just to sort of like maybe I'll make a video with them, or like something, like, like thinking that type of mindset. So you never know. I just like to just chill out. And the thing is, a lot of people, like, they take things very serious. I like to I just like to chill. I like to vibe out. Like if someone's like super like pushy and like yo bro, like let's get this out, like let's do this video together, like really pushing it, like, or just like it was just like a quick like, yo, like let's film some shit someday. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. But if they're like really like pushing, then like I kind of like step away, because that's not the vibe that I'm really going for.
True. Yeah. No, I think I understand that, and I think a lot of people actually would share that same thing, especially if you have a certain amount of following. You have a YouTube channel. I assume people who are watching this know that, and so you have your own YouTube channel with a considerable amount of exposure that you would get anyone who does any kind of filming with you. And so I agree. I think Andres actually tweeted that a few weeks ago too, something along the lines of that. Like every time someone reaches out, he's just like on the defense a little bit, because typically the next question after "Hey, what's up?" is like, "Hey, can you connect me with this person? Hey, can you like do this for me? Can you do that video for me?" And yeah, I mean that's kind of unfortunately where we're at right now in this gold rush of NFTs. Do you think we're even within a 5-year span away from this gold rush? Like, how long do you think this gold rush of NFTs is going to last? Because crypto, I would argue, is still kind of in their gold rush even, and they've been around for a minute.
With NFTs, I feel like as of right now, the state of the market, like with the profile picture hype, I feel like that's very unsustainable, and something that I don't really see for the longer term. Like, I mean, like even with profile pictures, it's so hard to sort of guess, but I don't think that they're going to necessarily fade away to like they never again be seen. But I think that it's going to be very different in terms of what pumps and what doesn't, just because like what makes this project different than this project, and this project different than this project. Because in the beginning, when NFTs were popping off, it had 100% to do with art, and whatever was out at the moment. Because that's why Dogepound popped off. The art on Dogepound originally, like when that came out, like no one was like, oh my god, like this is the best art. They were like, yo, this is the best community. So like when people are like that aspect, that's what people were looking at in the beginning, like just art and community basically. And now it's a little bit different, because you kind of need something of substance for a project to even get like an eye on it. And especially now, I feel like there's a lot of oversaturation. I feel like it's hard to determine how long it's going to last, but it's just very different. The market changes so drastically, and that's why the free mint meta is so popping right now, is because people really love just like to gamble, and that's what NFTs kind of are. They're just like think of it as like a caveman invented a wheel, but they used that wheel instead of for like actual utility. They used it to make a roulette table. So like they're just like
it's just slots, bro. I feel like it's just slots. People just show up and they they win some money, they pull another slot, they lose the money, they go back, they put some extra more money in, they fucking pull the slot, and it's just endless cycles of that.
Yeah, there's so much utility to NFTs, and that's what people don't really understand. Like you could like I always bring up the example with a Rolex. Like a Rolex, you get like the box, you get the certification number, you get this and that. But if they were to put like a authenticity, like verified on blockchain, where even if you do sell the Rolex, you can see that Rolex was purchased, it's legit, it has a serial number, and it's authenticated and minted by Rolex, so you can know that it's legit, know that it's real. and have to do a lot less verification in that process. And I feel like it would just make a lot more sense if everything was sort of on that blockchain aspect, because you could lose a receipt, you could lose the documentation, but on blockchain you kind of can't unless you somehow figure out how to change metadata. But usually that comes from the mint wallet unless it's on chain.
Yeah, and plus, like, I mean, we were just talking about Rolex a few minutes ago. That'd be sick if you had an authenticated, verified thing on chain saying, "Hey, this is 100% real." Because especially if you're like, "I bought this secondhand," people are like, "All right, well, do you know if it's real?" It's like, "Well, I fucking hope it is." You know, you know what I mean? Like, how? By the way, how did you authenticate it? How did you know if it was real?
Whenever you get a Rolex, there's a couple of different papers. I don't buy any Rolex unless you have every single paper. And whenever you have these papers, it's kind of easy to sort of tell, because there's like a black light test. There's you could take it to the authorized dealers and they could open it up and make sure.
Gotcha.
So that's also something that you could do. And if you ever have someone who's gonna sell you a watch, make sure you go to an authorized dealer and be like, yeah, like, I'm buying this watch. Can you just check if this is authentic? Because blah blah. And if they're a legit like watch dealer, watch person, they'll definitely meet you there because they want to sell the watch. So it's like, if they verify it's a legit watch, then boom, like, it's simple as that. But you know, I feel like there could be a little bit of an easier way to do so and verify.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it's a big statement, especially going back to what you said about the PFPs. My one concern, like, I made a video the other day talking about the potential for punks to lose their interest over time, because like something like Mario is like, this is my go-to example, like something like a Mario or something along those lines. It's old, people recognize it, but it's not like poppin', right? Like if Mario dropped the collection, you'd be like, I don't know, like, it's fine. Like Rugrats did their thing with Nickelodeon. It's like, okay, like I remember that from a long time ago, but like I don't care. You know what I mean? And so what I noticed was that these big OG collections, like a CyberKongz, like a Doge Pound, like a Lazy Lions, like those projects that launched back in the summer or the fall, they're really dope for us because we were there and we remember what it felt like when they launched, right when they launched, and it was so fucking dope. But these new people who come in, they have no emotional tie to Doge Pound. They don't care. It's just another project that came like a long time ago or something. And so I am very interested to see how the collectibles hold up and which ones will and why. I think it's definitely gonna be dependent on like who the founder is and what they're trying to build around it. Like that's why I like SupDucks, because I see what Frankie's doing with his studio and his show, and I'm like, okay, if there's someone I'm gonna put my eggs in their basket, like I feel like it makes sense because they're gonna do it with or without me. And that's really like one of the only things I can look at now when I'm looking to invest in a project long term to kind of hold it. But I'm really not holding more than like probably 3 or 4 NFTs unless they're just like friends or something, you know?
Yeah, and I really agree, and I think that even like 95% of NFT projects is going to inevitably just run down.
Yeah.
Some might hold their value a lot better than others, but it comes down to just what does hold their value the best. Like it could be like Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is the most likely example, unless there is something that comes out that like destroys their brand, which is very possible because there's been allegations of this and that. So you never know. So like anything could happen. No one has a crystal ball, and I mean it could be the lowest project right now is the one that's gonna take over. You just don't know because we're just in such an early stage. Like that's the best way to sort of look at it, and like just take it with a grain of salt whenever you're buying anything. And I'm not really a big fan of holding much of anything. Like even with the Bored Ape, like I feel like if there's like another pump, like I would probably sell it like realistically, because I don't think that there's a reason that it should be so expensive. Like yes, like it's like first off, Bored Ape's not even like the first NFT, so it's like if it was like the first NFT like ever made, then sure, like I get it. But it's not. So
it's hard to know. It's hard to know. I mean, unless they're friends, like unless I know the owner or the founder and I fuck with them and I'm just like, this is like a friendship token type of deal, I'm probably not holding many NFTs. Like those are probably the only ones I'm holding anyway. Like if you look at my ledger, it's filled with art, just like art pieces from individual artists that I fuck with. It's not really filled with PFPs and collectibles as much. And so that's just kind of my perspective on it. And you're right. Like back in the day, like when those first website companies were coming out, the tech companies were coming out, and it was right at the beginning when everyone was excited about it. Like what if everyone talks about like the .com boom. And you couldn't have known which ones were going to make it out. Like everyone thought Yahoo was going to make it out, and then now it was replaced by another search engine. And it's one of those things like Bored Ape Yacht Club could very well be Yahoo, or it could also be Google and Amazon. It could definitely take over the world. I could see both happening. You literally just don't know. Like we're years and years and years away. Gary Vee even said for the metaverse, actually multiple people I've seen who are respecting this space have said metaverse is like 5-6 years away. And I was like, holy shit. If that's true, how are these projects that are building for the metaverse going to continue to pay their employees? Like, where's the money coming from? Do you have any thoughts on? I know you have your own project. Like, where does the money come from these bigger projects if they're not just going to drop another collection, right?
The thing is, these like especially the massive companies like Bored Ape Yacht Club and I was gonna say CryptoPunks, but that's also owned by Yuga now. But these large, super like huge projects, they make their money on royalties, and they already made like even though they're not making another secondary collection right this second, they already made like enormous amounts of money so far, and them paying people is only the tip of the iceberg of how much they've actually made. 5% of whatever that massive number is a ton of money. Like I don't even I don't even know what the number is, but it's like an abnormal amount of money. And I think the amount that like OpenSea made from all these collections is enormous as well. So like OpenSea, everyone's calling OpenSea blockbuster, but it very well might be because of the way that it runs things. But
Yeah.
But anyway, getting off topic, going back to how these companies make money is off of royalties and off of secondary collections. And yes, that might fizzle out, but if it's a really high project, they can make as many secondary collections as possible because that's just marketing. You don't see, this might be a little bit out of a comparison, but you don't see Nike slowing down their shoe production anytime soon.
I see. Yeah.
That's the best way I could sort of think of comparing it, like at the snap of a finger. But I think that if there's hype, you could pretty much market anything, and anything will sell out. That's why the Doodle stuff sold out, even though it was like a crazy high price and we're in a bear market. That's why that sold out, because there's that trust, there's that hype. And within any marketplace, I believe that hype is just going to determine whether something sells out or not. Especially if people think that they're going to make money, then it's almost like a guarantee that it'll sell out. That's why a lot of Nike shoes sell out so quickly, is because people think that they can make money on the resale of it. And that's same with Yeezys and all these other big shoe companies and anything of limited quality, limited quantity, and same with the Rolex too. Like even stuff like that, like any limited asset that people think they can make money on is the things that are going to sell out the most. And that's why people invest into brands like Doodles, Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, and such, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see, like, for example, when people say the utility projects, it's just not the time yet because people don't want the utility yet. They want the flip. So even if it had great utility, they would still flip it, kind of thing. And so my question for the future is more like rhetorical, or just thinking into the future. Is it going to be these OG projects, or is it going to be a new project that launches at the right time when the market and the people buying are ready to be like, okay, this now is really a flex? Like, will Doodles be able to maintain the fact that it's a flex? They're going to try and take over the NFT world right now. They're trying to like take over Instagram, especially, like have this huge collection that's not really their Genesis collection, but kind of just expanding the IP of Doodles, which I think would raise the price of their Genesis collection to something pretty high if they pull it off successfully. But they could also pull a Crypto Kitty and have 2 million NFTs in their collection, and they're all basically worth nothing, And that's I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of these projects, I feel like that could be also an issue with a lot of these sister collections. But going back to pretty much what I said previously, like you don't see a lot of these older Rolex models losing a lot of their value, and I mean it's a very, very big difference in not utility in like Rolex. You can't compare to a digital picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like that aspect of, if that brand continues to hold its value, then it'll definitely sort of maintain some of its core value. But if that company says like, yeah, we're bankrupt, we're closing down shop, then it's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But that's the way I could sort of look at it. But I don't really have the best answer for that, honestly, because I have no idea either.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just guessing at something in 5 years in the future. Tell me about your first NFT. When did you buy it? What was it?
I mean, I don't even really consider this an NFT, and that's why I don't like bring it up. But I bought a lot of Top Shot back in the day, before even NFTs. So I was in Top Shot. I think I made about like $5-6 grand off Top Shot before NFTs. I think I put like $50. No, I think $150. Like I bought one of these packs, sold one of the packs, bought another pack, sold the pack, bought another pack, sold another pack. And I don't know if you know who Shamdu is, but he's like a 14-year-old in the space. And he was actually in one of my Discord groups that I was in. And at the time, like he was like telling me what NFT, what Top Shot projects to look at and stuff like that. So back in the day, like way back, he was like a moderator in one of my Discords, and he was just like talking about it. And like that was like not super long ago, but about like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And that's when I first got introduced into the NFT space. And after Top Shot sort of fizzled out, like I think I made like $5-6 grand, which is like compared to NFTs, like it's just a drop in the bucket considering like how much like insane gains I made in NFTs. But that's where I sort of got into the space. And I was like, holy shit, like this is something. And all
Yeah.
that money, pretty much like snap of a finger, it was gone because I had to pay school bills, my car broke, and all of these different debts sort of added up. So I had like all this cool money that I'd never had before, and I'd never seen that much money made in like a month or two, just completely gone. And I paid my college stuff. And funny story actually is way back in the day when I was in college, I wasn't able to afford paying my tuition. So when you're not able to pay your tuition, you can't use the parking lot. So what I would do was I taught myself how to use Photoshop, and I learned how to make a fake parking pass. So
Nice.
I took a picture of someone's parking pass, made a fake one, and put it on my windshield, and I parked completely for free the entire time I was in college before I dropped out. And
Wow.
I actually was like, I learned Photoshop, and from there I actually sold like a bunch of logos and profile pictures. Like I used to make like a bunch of logos and stuff like way back in the day, and I would sell them for like $5-10 each, like while I was in class. So I'd like have enough money for like food that night and stuff like that.
That's fucking legendary right there. If you're in the chat right now and you haven't clicked the like button for that story, that deserves a like. That was fucking sick. That's wild, dude. Oh my God. That brings me a little bit of nostalgia to when I was living in my car and I was traveling around the country, but I was basically like flat broke the whole time too. But I remember I would do some sketchy stuff too. Like my example of that would be parking in like hotel parking lots overnight, because I didn't want to go to a Walmart because there's usually crackheads in the Walmart parking lots in the middle of the night. So I park in like a Holiday Inn, for example, and I would just walk in with a bag, like a plastic grocery bag. Walk in with a plastic bag, go hijack some ice from the ice machines that they have on every floor. Then I would go in, grab a coffee, grab a bagel, grab a yogurt, like grab whatever they had at the breakfast stations there, pretend like I was staying at the hotel. And I did that shit all the time. It's just funny, like people don't really notice if they're not looking for it. You're able to get away with a lot of shit.
Oh, bro, it's insane. Like even if you were to go to like I'm trying to think, you could go to a mall and you could just get a bunch of free samples. Like
Yeah.
there's so many like different like just like real life cheat codes that most people just won't really know unless you're like sort of like down bad.
True.
So yeah, there's a couple things you pick up on over time for sure. But yeah, it's a different time now for sure. And I'm blessed and happy in the place I am, and I'm assuming you are as well.
Yeah, man, I'm super grateful. Just coming from shitty time, being like broke as shit, it feels good to have, not like be rich, but have money to be able to afford a place and like live in the city that I want.
You're a lot more appreciative for sure. And that's why I'm sort of glad that I wasn't like brought up like super wealthy or anything by any means. Yeah, it's a different mindset for sure.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Cause so you were paying off college. How old are you right now?
I'm 21. I just turned 21 6 days ago.
Let's fucking go. You got a favorite alcohol?
I don't know if you drink or not. I'm not really a big drinker or like smoker or like anything, which is kind of funny because I have fucking blunt in my profile picture. Yeah, I'm not a big drug person. I tried to quit everything. I used to smoke for a while, just like Juul and shit. I was never like a cigarette person, but I would actually I'll tell this story too. I was in high school, and like I think I showed up like 100 days like I missed 100 days of high school because I was really bad in high school, and I would just go to class. Like I would just like all I would do is I would just go to the bathroom, just smoke. And what I did was, since I also like back in the day, like I was always trying to find ways to make money because I was like I never had money. So what I did was I found a place to get pods by my house. So I was paying I think like $10 for a pack of pods, which would be like 4 pods, and it was called like Eon pods. So I was able to order them online without having to do an ID verification check.
Wow.
So I did that.
Nice.
And I bought I think like 20 packs or something like that. And what I did was I sold each pack for $10 profit. And I would just sit in the bathrooms like all day, just texting people who did smoke. And I was just selling packs like every single day. And funny story is like one of the people like I guess told on me like and said that I was selling packs. So what I did was like my teacher, like one of my principals was like, yeah, we're gonna search you because we heard that blah blah blah. So anyway, like right before I got up to I was just like trying to figure out a way like how to get this fucking like I only had 1 pack on me left.
Nice.
So what I did was under these lunch tables there's like a little metal bar. So like what I did was I snuck I pushed this pack like in the metal bar. And it fit perfect. So I got up and they searched me. They found nothing. And then I went to the lunchroom, just picked it back up and just left. So it was sick. And I never got caught. But I was just selling them. The only reason I stopped selling was because some dude tried to rob me. So from there, I was just like, okay, I'm done with this shit.
Kosher plug, fam. Kosher plug has been kosher plug since the beginning, back in high school. That's wild, dude. My God, it wasn't until college that I jumped into the world of real life degeneracy, I guess you could call it. I didn't do anything remotely scary in high school. I was definitely I was trying to play college soccer. So all I did was play soccer and then try and be popular. That was the only two things on my mind. And so I didn't really think about anything like that. And then I see Total Chat here says he smuggled 2 pounds of weed into Canada. Jesus, in 8th grade.
I don't even know how illegal that is. It's probably pretty illegal.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Good thing you're not fully doxxed here, Total Chat. Okay, anyways, that's wild. I remember in college, my roommate, we won't dox his name. He was probably one of the top 3 biggest dealers in my city, and I was roommates with him, not in my actual room, but he lived in the same apartment as me, and so we would have probably 10 to 30 people a day just popping in, like knocking the door, like, hey, I'm here for David. And I remember, just because you mentioned that you had gotten robbed, I remember I was sitting there in the living room eating a fucking mac and cheese or something, minding my own business, had like a Coke in my hand or something. And that's when I was big Cade. I was like big and yoked. I was like probably 190 pounds, like pure muscle and testosterone running through my veins, it felt like. And so I was a big dude. And I remember David was like a tall, lankier kid. He was like, hey man, will you just stand here? Like stand up though, just like stand like your bodyguard or something. I was like, why? He's like, well, this guy's like coming in. I'm pretty sure he's like a big dude. I don't really know him that well. I don't really do deals with people who like I don't really know. I just am doing this because I kind of need the money or whatever. So I said, sure. And I'm saying that I'm not really paying attention. I'm on my phone because I figured it's just another deal. And I remember I was on my phone and I just hear like cash fall on the ground. Essentially, the guy like handed him some cash. It wasn't anywhere near how much he was supposed to get. Grabs the guy's weed, shoves David against the wall, runs out. David pulls out a fucking oh shit, I just doxed his name. That's not his name. A different name. Pulls out a fucking knife and runs after him. At this point, I was like, oh, but I'm like froze. I didn't know what to do. So I ran out and I see David like chasing this kid down the street, and then he got into a getaway car and literally ran away. And I remember after that moment, I was like, David, A, were you going to stab him? Because like, what the fuck were you going to do with that knife? And 2, like, oh my God, you just got fucking robbed in our apartment in Charleston. It was so scary. And I think after that, it was probably 2 more months, and then I moved out of that apartment. But being robbed is scary, dude.
Yeah, bro, it is scary, and that's the only reason why I stopped doing it, because it's not worth fucking possibly getting hurt over something so trivial like money. I think that like everyone puts too much weight into it. I think health in your life is way more important. But I'm just trying to think of some other stories, because like way back in the day, like I had a weird childhood. And people don't really know this, like a lot of the shit that because I don't really have any like reason to speak on things, just because like I feel like it's so random for me to just like start talking about like my childhood and stuff. But like, but yeah, I mean, like I'm trying to think, like when I was younger, like I used to do like garage sales and stuff. Like I think maybe I talked about it like somewhere, but I used to do garage sales, and like I made like I think like $100. Like I was like maybe like 10 at this time. I might even have a picture of it if I could find it.
10 years
but
old.
Yeah, I was hustling, doing garage sales, selling things. So I made like $100, and my mom's car got impounded. And this time was like, I was like we were like super close from getting evicted. Like I was like maybe like 9 or 10. Like we almost got evicted like 4 or 5 times. Like when I was younger, because like we were broke. Because I'm one of 5 siblings.
Oh
so
shit!
It's like
Okay.
I have a big ass family. So
where do you rank in there? Are you like the youngest, the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. So
you're the youngest.
Yeah, so I got it a little bit worse than everyone else, because like,
yeah,
my brother was also like maybe like 18 at the time, like, and I was like maybe like 10 or something. So it's like I was like a little bit different growing up, like mentally at least, than my family was, because like they had more of like a normal type of life. So like anyway, so I made like $100 in the garage sale, and my mom's car got impounded, and I had to give her the money that I was saving up for a while, so she could get her car to the impound lot. And yeah, I don't think I got that money back. So it's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, it's life, man. That's just how it is. And growing up, it was a lot of shit like that. Like I was always like just fucking doing stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the best outlook to sort of have, is to just try something, just to try to keep doing stuff to make yourself like have a better situation. And that's where I sort of feel like, even with NFTs and shit like that, like a lot of people might be like, oh yeah, it's luck that you got in, luck that you did this, luck that you did that, which I mean, yes, there's definitely an aspect of luck for sure. And I feel like there's an aspect of luck with pretty much everything that you do. You're lucky to even be born in the United States, where, you know, you're not just like you have food and water and stuff like that. So it's like, like everyone's lucky if you're living in a first world type of country like us. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I feel like if you put enough time, effort, fail enough times, you'll find something that will click and find something that will succeed.
Yeah, I agree. I think you put yourself in a position to get lucky, and the luck can happen. It's funny you bring that up because I'm literally reading a book about the hidden role of chance and luck in the markets, fooled by randomness. It actually literally explains that exact concept, and it's a huge point. And the people who, you don't really see people who are hustling talking shit about stuff like that. Like the kind of person you want to attract anyway isn't leaving those kind of hate comments and talking shit about it. I remember when I interviewed Bento on the channel. I don't know if you saw that podcast, but he was telling me a little bit about that. It's interesting because his situation came because he was just interested in trying things. But yours, it sounds like it was a little bit more necessity, or was that not? Did that not really?
I mean, yeah, even from like a young age, like I was always trying things. Like even with like the garage sales, I originally was selling tomatoes, so it was like I was maybe like 8 or 9 or something, like, and I would get like this like fold out table that I had in my house, and I would just put it in front of my house, and I had like a cherry tomato plant, so I picked all the cherry tomatoes, and they weren't even ripe, so it was like I would just like put them in a bowl, and then people would walk by and be like what the hell is this kid doing? Like these tomatoes aren't even ripe, like what the fuck is this? And they would literally just give me money. I guess it's just like what the fuck is this? So they're just like keep it up. So
yeah.
And then what I saw from there was across the street from my house was very busy. There was always a lot of traffic because there was like a deli. And what I did was I went across the street and I was like, yeah, can I put a garage sale out front of your shop? And the people who are running that deli were like my neighbors. So they're like, yeah, sure. Like you could put it there. And a couple of days of just like hustling on the garage sale, just like selling like random shit. Like I think I was like selling like old kitchen plates that I had like in my house, like in the closets and shit, like just a bunch of random stuff. I was able to make a little bit of money. And what I did was I found a bunch of iPhone cases because I saw that everyone who was walking by had iPhones, like iPhone 4s and stuff like that. But I saw that some people didn't have cases. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, I think that I could figure out, I didn't say fuck it. It was like 7 or 8. But I was like, okay, cool. Like people need iPhone cases. So I looked up on Amazon and I bought like 5 or 10 iPhone cases from China. It took like a month and a half to get in. It was like super long time. Each iPhone case was, I think, like $4 or something like that. And I sold them each for 10. And I was like, maybe like 10 at that time. So I made a little bit of money just doing that, but obviously like nothing stuck 100%. And even from there, like, bro, I was like, fucking, I'm trying to think of some other things I did. Like fucking, I don't know if you know what, like Xbox controllers, but like I used to like customize them and shit. And like just like fucking like spray paint them and stuff like that. I used to do that too, but really? Just like just so random. Like I just did just shit like that all the time.
That is fucking wild. It was all because you wanted to make more money, or you just like doing it? You're bored? Like,
no, the thing is like, I like the way, like, I feel like it's like, I don't know, like, cause I also have brothers and sisters who grew up like how I grew up, but like they weren't like that. They didn't have that mentality of like, I want to make money, but like, I just always felt like that's my way out of this, is just make as much money as possible. And I like, when I was growing up, like I never had money for like cool things. Like I would always wear like the same pair of shoes and just stuff like that. And people would make fun of me for that. Like they were like, especially where I grew up, it was like in the middle of like kind of shitty, but like really good area. So it's like I was like in the middle, like where I went to school at least. So like people would make fun of me, be like, oh, like why are you wearing these? Like, cause I used to wear these pair of Vans, like these slip-on Vans that had like a skull on it, when not for like maybe like 2 years. Like it was so bad. Like I remember one of the pairs of shoes that I had were like so beat up that I actually was hanging out with one of my friends, and his dad bought me a new pair of shoes because like my shoes were like so destroyed.
Damn.
And like it was crazy times. Like it really was. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need money to sort of make my situation a little bit better. And from there, I just kept doing things and just trying different things. And soon enough, an outlet clicked, and I'm just sort of taking advantage of my position that I'm in and just doing as much as I can right now, because you never know, things may change in a month from now, 2 months from now, and 3 months from now. So you never know. Live life every single day as you want to live it, and don't be afraid of what other people think, even though I'm afraid of what other people think still, even though I say that. But it's
a good mantra. It's good to try and live by that. That's really interesting about, like, one of the things I think about, not that much, it just comes up in my head every now and then, as far as like when and if I have kids, is like, all right, there was a bunch of shit that happened to me when I was a kid that no doubt would qualify as something along the lines of trauma. And it sucks that it went through it. And when I was going through it, it was miserable. And the entire time it was miserable. And now basically I feel like most adults are just kind of working through most of their shit they dealt with as a kid. But it's like, if you don't have any, then you kind of just turn out to be a piece of shit a lot of times, or you turn out to be like, maybe like a trust fund kid or something. And so it's a really interesting dynamic of especially people who have successful parents, and maybe they follow all the rules of like how to raise your kids the right way. They don't spoil them as much, and their kids still turns out to be a piece of shit. And it's really interesting how people can come from different backgrounds, completely different childhoods, and still get to a point of kind of, we're both here. We're both doing YouTube. We're doing NFT videos and stuff. We're having fun trading, doing whatever you want to do, a day in the life. Like, it's interesting how we get to this point.
Yeah, the thing is, I just genuinely respect, like, especially if someone built their situation up, I respect it so much more if they came from like nothing. There's someone actually cool like Sebastian Gorju. He's like he makes like a lot of these like finance, like how to make business type of videos. And he's like, he came from this like same situation as me, like basically like to a T. Like he was the youngest, and he was like super broken. Like he like just grinded for everything that he had, which I respect a lot more than someone who just sort of like got money from their parents and now they're rich because they got sort of like lucky with the market placement. But yeah, I think that it's really cool how we are all in the same position, and I don't judge anyone differently, but I just have a lot more respect for people who came from that position. And
100%. Yeah, 100%. What do you have any friends in the real world who fuck with NFTs, or are you by yourself right now?
I mean, I have a couple friends in real life, but I don't really hang out with them too often. Maybe like once a week or once every like couple weeks, like just to like go get coffee or something.
Sure.
I do have friends. It's like, I don't like, I feel like I talk to my online friends way more, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I mean, I remember I was filming a day in the life and I was like, fuck, dude, I don't go out and like fucking play ping pong for 2 hours a day. Like that's not part of my reality right now. Like 90% of the time is in front of the computer. If I'm not in front of the computer, I'm like running or exercising or something. And then maybe I'm eating food. But like, that's kind of like that's the majority of day in the life. So when I see people who did like entrepreneur videos, I remember watching those on YouTube all the time and be like, I guess that's where I'm headed. And it's interesting now when I look back, cause I'm like, oh, that is literally what we are doing as YouTubers. We're just in front of a computer for 90% of the day.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of like how to sort of explain it, but like whenever I hang out with friends, like especially like I feel like the mentality is very different, because when I talk to friends who are like from like NFTs and like trying to like almost like better themselves and like almost in the mindset of like creating businesses and creating things, it's a very different mindset that they have, and they have more of that like party type of mindset than more of like laid back, like I just want to chill mindset, like instead of just like I want to build, I want to create. It's very different, the mentality that they have. And it's kind of unfortunate because I kind of, in a sense, feel like this is like turning into a therapy session. It's sort of like feels like we live in a different world in a sense. It's like, and I don't mean that in like an arrogant way. It's just like we like the way that I talk to people and the way that people talk to me back who are online, their online personas are very different. But whenever I talk to people who are like in real life, like it's very different. Like I still love my friends, like they're cool people, but it just feels like they don't really have that same mindset, and just it feels like we're separate beings almost.
Dude,
but otherwise on here it's like a little different.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I mean, there are people that I've met in real life who also have the similar mindset, or like there's a couple people in Seattle who are doing like the guy throwing NFT Seattle is here like a few minutes away from me. And he's like a normal dude. He's like 28 probably, or like mid to late 20s. And to those few select people, I probably met 3 people from various NFTs, like at social events out of like 50 or 100 that I've actually met. Maybe 2 or 3 of them I connect with. And then other than that, like I've been on like a few dates and stuff in the Seattle area, and they not to roast the people I was on a date with, but they sucked. I was sitting there, I was like counting down the fucking minutes until I could leave, basically, was what my mindset was. Because if they're not doing these things that we're doing or on a similar trajectory, there's just like, I just don't have any interest in talking to them, which sucks. But that's just kind of the reality, dude. Like I don't have time to, I don't even know what people talk about. Like, what do y'all do for like the 7 hours of time you're not like doing stuff that like editing or videos or whatever? Like, what are they doing all day, you know?
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just it almost comes down to the like the mindset of your network is your net worth. It's that sort of mindset as well. Like if you're surrounding yourself by people who are losers, you're going to inevitably sort of become a loser. If you surround yourself by really wealthy and rich people and people who are of high class, you're going to become one of those people of rich and high class, because humans are adaptive creatures and they'll sort of adapt to their environment. If you put a human in a desert, you know, they'll sort to their skin will turn a little darker. They'll store more water and they'll store more fat and stuff like that. So it's like it depends on your climate, your situation that you're sort of brought up in, and that's the best way I sort of like to look at it.
Did you draw a lot of mindset work from YouTubers growing up, like people who were on? Did you watch those kind of videos growing up, or?
I don't think so. I only watched videos like on YouTube of like I don't even know how to explain it. Like I used to watch like what are those like video game YouTubers like Vanos and stuff like that. I used to watch videos like that when I was growing up. I was never like for business stuff. I would watch like when I started learning how to customize controllers, like I think it was like 11 at that point or something, like 11, 12. I would look up like how to disassemble and reassemble Xbox controllers, and I learned how to take apart an Xbox controller, re-put it together, spray paint it, like what's needed to sand it, what's needed to tape it, what's needed for this and that. And I used to make just a bunch of like not financial decisions, but I used to make learn a bunch, not make a bunch, learn a bunch of like how to do things, just like sort of like that. And like I would watch drop shipping videos. I would watch videos on what business models worked. And I actually learned how to flip iPhones because of this, because I watched a video on some person saying that he makes a lot of money flipping iPhones. So what I did was when I was in school, I think I was in high school freshman year, I don't know how old I was, maybe 14, I would buy iPhones off of people and just resell them because they didn't know like the exact price that they were going for. So I would buy them for, say for example, $100, and I would sell them for maybe 175 on eBay. Nice. eBay takes their 12.5% cut. So I'd make like $50-$60 or a little less than that, depending. So it was always nice. You know, I was just making money that way. And, you know, eventually you run out of iPhones to find and sell. And if I had a picture, I'd show you on the screen right now, but I have a picture for sure, but it's just, I don't have one just like on my phone ready to go. I could look really quick if you want, but
yeah, I mean, if you want, I was going to
say, I'll try to find one.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking for that, I remember I didn't know anything about business, so I don't have any natural business instinct. It all came from me watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it was probably in 2020 when COVID happened. So like right in the beginning of it, one of my friends, Nancy, her little brother, he was like 18 or 19 at the time, was super high IQ for business shit. And he was talking about flipping things. And he's like, yeah, man, like the COVID thing's happening. I'm pretty sure that these gym equipment things are going to pop off soon. And they weren't yet. And he was like, and they're still cheap right now. I'm going to flip this home gym. Can you? And essentially he's like a few years younger than me. And he was like, will you come help me move this shit? And I'll pay you like $50. And so I basically was like an employee for him. And I remember it was like a small ego hit, but I was okay, whatever. I can learn something from this kid. He's really smart. So we're talking about the whole process because I was really interested. So essentially he paid like $800 for the home gym, flipped it for probably 3,000 or 4,000. And I remember like 2 weeks after that, I was like, you know what, dude? Fuck this. There's never going to be a moment where I'm ready. I'm just going to do one. So I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found a home gym. I paid like $500 to flip it. I ended up making like 3 or 4x on my money. And I remember feeling so fucking terrified, but so exhilarated when I was doing it. But it still doesn't come natural. Like I only did it a couple times. I don't like that level of risk. It's just like, I don't know what it is. Like that's probably why I didn't pull the trigger on an NFT project. I was just like a little bit too unsure. There's too many unknowns for me. And so I ended up not doing it. But also, did you find the photo?
I did find the photo.
Let's go.
It's from 2016 of how many, like all the phones that I got. Shit. It's kind of hard to see.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it. That's wild, dude. That's so cool. You have it documented. But what year was that you said?
July 16, 2016.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I was always doing things, man. I'm telling you. This is a picture of me way back in the day holding my money I made from a garage sale. I don't know if you can see it. Way back in the day.
Oh my God.
That was I think like 2011.
Baby kosher plug.
Yeah, after a garage sale or something around those lines. I'm trying to find more pictures because I have like everything sort of documented. Because whenever like I did anything, I would sort of take pictures and like post it online. Like I was always making content as well. Like I would make YouTube videos and shit like that. Like I still have YouTube videos to this day that are still up.
Let's go on the main channel.
No, not on the main channel. Oh. On one of my old channels, I used to make videos just like on customizing Xbox controllers and stuff like that. I'm not gonna leak out the name of that channel and stuff like that.
Damn! Right if you do, he'll give you a free kosher plug pass.
Free plug pass if someone finds it.
You know what's interesting about because you were just talking to me about how you flip the iPhone for like $50 profit or so. It's really interesting to me how different I look at money now that I've just you fucking spend $200 on gas sometimes in a good market, right? And so it's just kind of got to the point where I don't look at things the same way, and it's really hard because I still have that natural instinct to look at money the same way as I did. Like if I got to pay $6.99 for shipping, I'm like, no. But now I'm able to kind of like differentiate. Okay, that's actually not a big deal. Let me look at this as if it was an NFT. I would have no problem with this. But it is crazy. Like unless I'm making like a 10x, I'm just kind of like unfazed, bro. I'm just like, oh, nice.
Yeah,
Thanks. Cool.
the mindset change is definitely different when you're in a space where it's almost a euphoria period, and that's the best way I could sort of describe NFTs. Is it was in a euphoria period for a very long time, so
Yeah.
everyone was making money. You get through a dart at the board, everyone was making crazy money, and I'm just trying to find pictures.
Well, it's actually for me. It was actually a good lesson for me to operate on a level that's a bit higher for money. Like now, when I see people, panicking about $20-$30, I'm just kind of like desensitized. I'm like, bro, that's $20 or $30. Like, who gives a fuck? Or if I'm like, okay, I got to pay $100 for this thing, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, it's $100. But then I'm like, okay, but what do I get from that 100? Like, what's the value that I extract from that $100? Is it worth it? I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. I'm like, okay, so let's buy it. So I look at it a bit differently. I was able to kind of like shift my mindset, how you were saying with the humans adapting. Now that I've operated with more money and just like, you can buy an NFT for $5,000. It's like it's different now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mindset changes is pretty drastic when you're in business, especially, and also if you surround yourself by people who are like always spending like crazy amounts of money,
Yeah.
like you almost become numb to it. I feel like money, like it's just like I almost look at money as like monopoly money now. Like it's not
Same.
like real. And that's the best way to sort of look at money, in my opinion, because if you don't treat it as it's real and you treat it as just a tool to buy something, then you can make just a lot of money. Because I think that people get very emotionally attached to money, and
Yeah.
that's also an issue as well. But also, yeah, I'm also very cheap. Maybe it's the Jewish in me coming out, but I don't like spending money. I'm very lucrative. I don't spend money on stupid shit. I say that as I bought a new watch the other day, but like
And Chipotle.
realistically. But Chipotle is a good expense. I could reason Chipotle, but yeah,
I'm half
I don't like.
Japanese. My mom's Japanese, so they're ultra conservative over there, and so I have a huge conservative edge. My dad's also super. They're both just very much on the better safe than sorry boat.
Oh,
So I grew up with that.
I think the CIA actually hires people with anxiety and different conditions like that because their mindset is very different, and they make more smart decisions because they don't want backlash.
Yeah, I mean, he's my dad. It annoys me because I'm probably like a couple tiers below as safe as they are. Like for me, I'm like, okay, we got enough information. Let's move forward. He's like, okay, let's hold on. Like let's make sure we have all the information like that. We have like plenty of information to move forward with this. Let's just go now. And he's like, no, let's be like a bit more careful. But I also think that's just age. Like I think that's just when you get older, there's no reason to take bigger chances. So you're like, fuck it.
For
Like
sure.
I've been trying to get my dad to pull a bento and start buying DJ NFTs. And he won't fucking do it. He actually has started to get into the blockchain world, but not trading. He works in Silicon Valley. So I was like, dude, come on. I was like you're in this world. Like, come on, buy some NFTs. Like do some blockchain work. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I agree. When you're a little older, you don't like risk. Whenever I talk to my grandma about anything, I remember I was telling her about how I have all these NFTs worth all this money, and she's like, you're stupid. Why you keep buying these things? They sell it for real money and put it in the bank where it's safe. And I'm just like, and she's like, yeah, you can make good money. I invest in she doesn't invest, but she's like, I put my money in the bank and I make 0.2% per year, which is pretty good. I'm like, grandma, I'm making like 200% like putting my money in this NFT, like you, and she just didn't understand. And there's definitely that disconnect between older generation for sure.
Yeah. But now we have tech. Like all of us have tech. So do you think when you're older, for example, like 50-year-old kosher plug, and your grandkid comes up to you or something, and he's like, yo, kosher plug, grandpa, kosher plug, you heard about this new VR, whatever the fuck, and you're like sitting there like, oh man, I know this is probably something cool, but I just don't care. Like, what do you think it's going to be for us? Because we're going to have grown up just having to essentially adapt every 5 years to a new entire thing.
I think virtual augmented reality. So like you wear glasses, and like reality is not just, but like you look through these glasses and you could see things that otherwise you wouldn't see normally. So like you're driving, and for example, there'd be like, I don't even know how to explain this. It's so like trippy. Like there could be like real life stores like outside though. Like you'd be like physically shopping, but it'd be like at a park. And
Oh
that
yeah,
park
yeah.
would have like a million, like not a million stores. It had like 100 stores at that park, just in different sections. But it all like no physical store would exist.
Sure.
You would have these glasses on. You'd be walking through the park. Over there might be a Sephora. Over there might be a Petco. Over there might be a Chipotle. And you just see this all through your glasses. You could walk in the store. You could shop around. and you're not anywhere. You're not in a physical store. If you took off these glasses, you'd just be standing in the middle of a field.
Would you want that? Like Pokemon Go did that, and people fuck with Pokemon Go. I hate it. I don't fucking want to walk. I'd rather just play the game in my room. But some people fucking love it, dude.
I think it could be very interesting. It really can, and I don't know if it'd be a good or a bad thing, because I think that it'd be a good thing, because bro, making buildings, paying rent expensive as f. Like if you want to pay rent, especially right now, like there's a place by my house, like where the Chipotle is. I think it costs about like $10,000 or $12,000 a month just to own that piece of land to like rent out per month. So it's insanely expensive. So like if you think of it like that, and there's no physical location, it's just this store is here. And if you want to shop, I think Amazon's actually working on like a store where like you don't even have to pay. You just walk out with the items that you want.
They have that right now. Yeah. There's one in Seattle. You just walk in, grab stuff, walk out.
I forgot what the name of it is, but it's like
I don't know, something to do with VR or AR or something like that.
Yeah, so you walk right in, take something off the shelf, you could leave, it charges you for it.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is like there's going to be stores where it's like you walk in, but it's like there's no store there. Like you just straight up, like you could look at the shelves, you're like browsing, you could pick up the items like in virtual reality. So like you could, like for example, you're shopping and you want to for example pick up this t-shirt, you want to see what it looks like, so you go to the shelf, pick up the t-shirt and go like that, and you're just like, oh, like I like how the t-shirt looks, put it back on the rack, like that aspect would be insane.
Wait, tell me what you think about this. Do you remember like a week or two ago, I was making fun of Philip for this. He's not an NFT YouTuber. He's a big fan of CloneX Artifact, and talking about, I don't know if you saw, they had like these AR hoodies that they dropped for an NFT collection, and you can redeem it for a real one. And if you have like, I think it's a Snapchat filter or something, you can see yourself with the fucking hoodie. I don't know, it's something like that. Did you see it?
I thought that was stupid. I'm not a fan of digital clothes. I think that doesn't make sense, especially right now. It's kind of stupid. I think it's dumb. Just because, like, when are you ever gonna do that? Like, what's the point? Just get the actual hoodie and you could wear it whenever. Why keep it on a Snapchat filter? That's the only thing I'm just confused on. But I mean, it's a cool concept, right? But like trying things that no one else has really done, I don't really see the point. Like, it's kind of, I feel like it's too early. If there's like if there's augmented reality for everyone, then yeah, like it'd be super cool if you could wear like a digital hoodie in the metaverse or whatever. But I think, especially with the price that Nike charged for these hoodies, it was like 0.2 ETH for just a basic hoodie. It's like, and CloneX holders didn't even get it. So there's just a huge disconnect from Web 2. They don't really understand the space that much. And it was a dumb release.
Yeah, for me, I thought it was interesting. I think in the respect of like, hey, we're trying something, that in that respect is cool. For like, I mean, to charge that much money, unless they say, hey, if you hold this, then you will be given every single upgrade and update that comes for free just by holding it or by having the original hoodie or whatever it is. Then maybe if they keep building on that. But if they drop another collection where it's like, okay, now we're trying this new fucking sweatpants, and it's like, oh, fuck me, like I just got screwed basically. But if that's like a membership pass, it's a bit different. Like I imagine for you have the kosher plug pass, right? So anything that you guys do in the future, I assume you'll just run through with that. Like if you hold a plug pass, you get access to this, or you'll get first dibs for this. Like, what is it like for your project right now?
With plug pass is a year subscription. So when you own the pass, you get access to the Discord for 1 year. The only reason I made it a year subscription is because, especially if you're doing something with the aspect of paying others, it's almost impossible to keep that income generation just off of royalties alone. Because right now I'm not even sure we're making royalties, but it's like nowhere what it once was when the market was good. So I knew that, like going back before, like I remember I was like one of the first people to like enter in some sort of like NFT subscription model, and everyone was like, yo, this is a scam because like NFTs aren't subscriptions. But I feel like that mentality shifted a lot, and there's also a couple other projects who are doing that now. But yeah, I mean, it's a subscription model. So like next year, it's going to, I think, be like 0.15 to renew. So like if someone wants to stay in the group, they pay that subscription. But I think just in general, I think that most projects, especially right now, if it's almost in a sense like a course. Like if you have a course, you're not able to really resell it. Like you pay for the course. There's nothing that you can't really sell it and get your money back. But with opposed to something like Plug Pass, like you could join the group. You don't like the group, it's not for you, sell it. I mean, it's I'm not telling anyone, yo, you need to join this group. Like this is the best group, you know? And everyone, like all the information in any group, any alpha group, you could get for free. Like, I think that that's such a disconnect people have. And they think that, oh, I joined this group, I'll make money, but it's not the truth. Like you could do the research yourself. It's just a lot easier if you have a bunch of people, just like conglomerated. So it's like a little better spread of information, in my opinion. But
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're paying for like the organization for it to be all there. It's like when people say, like, I saw some video. Some guy was like so angry about Top G, Andrew Tate's Hustlers University. He's like, you can find all this information here. I'm like, I get that, and I understand it's pretty much a pyramid scheme at some point for a sector of the course or whatever he's selling. But also, it's all there in one spot. Like if you want to learn this, it's right there with the exact order of how to do it, who to go to. Like all this information is packaged up really nicely. And a lot of people are willing to pay for that. Like if they're, for example, like when I wanted to learn filmmaking, I bought a course. Like I could do it on YouTube, but one, I'm not going to stick with it because I fucking didn't pay anything for it. And it's all disorganized. There's like episode 1 over here, but then you need to click on this button over here. And like if you buy a course for a couple $100, you have it all laid out and it's all dedicated to teaching you. And they realize you're paying for it. So it's like a little bit better quality. So I have no problem like people paying for stuff.
Yeah,
but it looks like you thought about it in advance, doing like a year subscription.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially what you bring up, like you wouldn't do it unless you paid for it, and that's a mentality a lot of people have. And whenever you look at school, people aren't like, "Oh my God, you're so stupid for spending all this money for a college education." Like, what are you doing? Like no one thinks of it like that. But if you try to spend money to better educate yourself personally, they frown upon it, and that's the only thing I don't like, because I feel like that there's a disconnect between, especially the older generation. Like my mom really wanted me to go to college. My grandma wanted me to go to college. And like when I was like, yeah, I don't think that college is really for me. Like, I'm not really a fan. Like I tried it. I'm going to take a year off. Like, I don't think it's doing good. And they're like, oh, like you're dumb. You should go back to college like that. Like, how are you going to get a job in the future? But it's like, it's just that disconnect is there. But like if I spend money on other things, like, you know, if I want to learn a course on how to make YouTube videos, how to market myself, like, which is actually from people who are doing this stuff instead of a teacher who is teaching me a business degree and never ran a business. I'm the bad guy, and I'm the guy who's looked at in a negative light. So it's like I think that there's just such a huge disconnect, especially with the older generation. It's so ingrained in people's minds that education is key, that you have to follow the suit of college, and especially if you're going to college to be in business, why do you have to learn history? Like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big disconnect, especially if you're a doctor. What does history have to do with being a doctor?
And plus, like, even if you were taking on the business class, like, how many of those people actually have a thriving business? Like, none of them. And if they fucking know how to teach it, but they've never done it.
Yeah, if they have a thriving business and I'm learning from like one of the top people in the space, 100%, like I would be like, oh, that's sick. Like, I'm going to learn from, for example, let's just say Bill Gates is teaching a course like in this college. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to this college and learn this course from Bill Gates. Like, what the fuck? But if it's from, I'm just going to use a random name, Joe Williams, like for someone who's never ran a business in their life, but graduated top of his class in business.
Joe Williams is punching the air right now.
If he graduated top of his class in business, why isn't he running a million or multi-million dollar business right now? So it's like, I feel like there's disconnect.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there for sure. Do you have anything, like, I definitely want to hit on WGMI a little bit, but before that, I wanted to ask you what the most surprising thing that you've seen in the NFT space. It could be something that you saw that you didn't think attached to it, or something that you launched or you tried that just surprised you how it went.
I mean, the only thing that surprised me in the NFT space is I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like the space is just oversaturated now. I don't think there's anything that surprises me at this point, honestly. The only thing that I would say surprises me is how quickly people change. Like the metas, like it could be one day everything's a free mint, and then not even like 2 days later, it's like doodle mint, or like I'm trying to think, like a derivative meta where it's like everything that's Bored Ape Yacht Club related starts popping off, or anything that's thick line art style pops off. And like the mindset, like it's just a snap of a finger, change of mindset. Like no one, like it's so like drastically different, like from one day to the next. So that's like that I would say just surprises me about this space.
What's the next meta, bro? What's the push for alpha?
Everyone asks me what's the next meta. I have no idea. It's like flipping a coin. It's like no one knows. Also, I found this old from one of my, like, back in, like, let me see what year this was. 2018. I made this Shopify store. It didn't have success, but
wait, turn the brightness down a tiny bit.
Boom. Can you see better?
Oh yeah, much better.
So
oh wow.
So I would have like Shopify stores and stuff like that. Like I would always be trying stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow. Holy shit. That's so cool that you had that document. I have a lot of things documented for my my trials and tribulations that I've had in the last couple of years. I have a video that's going to be posting in probably 2 years. It's a video called Hi Me in 3 years, something along those lines. And I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what was going on. The only thing I remember was I'm pretty sure that was within a year or two of my big breakup, and so I was probably going through it or something like that. But I think it's so cool to have those kind of memories documented, especially when when you're on a huge interview, something way bigger than this podcast one day, and you're like going through and you're showing fucking Rogan or something, like you're showing Rogan your photos from like 2012, 2013.
It's like proof. It's because like anyone could say anything, but if you have like an actual picture showing it, they're like holy, like, oh, he's actually serious, because anyone could say anything, but how many people are actually serious about it?
Yeah,
that's also a reason why back in the day I would take pictures of everything, because I wanted to show people what I was doing at the time. And even when I was like doing like business stuff, like I'd post it like on my Instagram, I'd post it on YouTube, post it on this and that. And that's why it's kind of cool how it kind of went full circle, and I'm making content like as like a full-time type of job now, which is like crazy.
Did you want to do that at any point? Were you thinking YouTube?
Yeah, I had, yeah, actually back in the day, I like one of my biggest expenses was I bought myself one of those Elgatos. Like, I don't know if you know, like those original Xbox Elgato ones, like those like ones that you connected to your, okay. So I would record like videos like straight from my Xbox. And, like, just like do like commentary type idea, sort of like Vanoss. I never took off, so I sold the Elgato.
I was never a huge gamer. I appreciate you calling me gamer, but I was never a huge gamer. But I'll still take the nickname. I like it.
Yeah, I love video games. I was just never able to have like all the cool systems and stuff until later on in life. So it's like it's just something cool that I sort of worked towards, but never really fell into. But I mean,
do you like any of the games right now? Do you like I saw, what's his name? Elio Trades dropped his game Imposters, I think it's called, right? Like, do you have any interest in those kind of play to earn games, or like, they all suck?
I'm not really a fan of play to earn type of games. I like fun games. So it's like I go and play like right now I have a game, and that's not a diss to Elio at all.
No, I know.
A game that I'm playing right now is like, it's called Multiversals. So it's like you could play as like that's like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, and you could play as like LeBron James, and you could play as, and it's like a Super Smash Bros. If you ever played Super Smash Bros.
I love Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's like that, but like I think it's Warner Brothers characters or just something around those lines. I'm not 100% exactly, but it's like you could play like it's really fun. It's something that's come out really recently. But the thing is, whenever I talk about playing video games, I almost feel like there's judgment, because I feel like I'm not working hard enough, and I guess that's more of like that's like something that I think socially people think is like, when you play video games, like you're not working hard enough. But I don't know. That's why I don't really post myself playing video games too often or anything like that, because I don't want people getting the wrong idea. And sure. I guess I'm trying to think of the word. It's like there's like a condition like imposter syndrome. I think it's something like that.
Could be. I mean, some people. I mean, it'd be like. I mean, you don't go out and go to fucking clubs and stuff, so it's like the equivalent of someone wasting 4 hours on Saturday or Friday and Saturday night, and you're like, well, I gamed for 2 hours. It's like, oh, you're fucking lazy. It's like, well, I'm not lazy. It's just what I chose to do during these couple hours of free time. It's just what I decided to do. And fucking Elon Musk still finds time to play video games, bro. The man's running around playing Valorant. I think is a game he talks about one day.
I think it's Overwatch.
Overwatch, that's what it was. Overwatch. You played any of those games?
Overwatch I was never really huge into. I used to play a lot of CSGO. As of recent, the only game that I've played is that Multiversals game. Also, I think we have a WGMI, this is not like a shill. We have like a WGMI Minecraft server, I think, coming out pretty soon.
No way.
Like, yeah, that could be pretty fun, because I like Minecraft. Minecraft's really fun.
Yeah, you're into Minecraft? How about Fortnite?
Fortnite, I was never like, bro, back in the day, I have pictures of me playing Fortnite back in the day. But yeah, I used to play Fortnite a lot, like back in the day. And that, bro, actually, speaking of that, my first computer, like that I started playing Fortnite on and stuff, like what I originally did, because I didn't have money for a computer, was I found on I went on Craigslist, and this is like a tip for anyone who is looking for shit. Just go to like the free section, and then you'll find like people throwing out shit. And I found someone who was throwing out a computer that had like a somewhat decent GPU, no CPU, which is like the motherboard type of idea, where it's like it like powers the computer. And then from there, I went and bought like a $400 computer with a GPU in it that was like, I think like easily the price of the computer. And people sell things sometimes that they just don't want anymore, and they'll give you like good prices because they just don't want it. They just want to get rid of it.
And plus, they don't know anything about anything. So
yeah, so what I did was I just merged the parts from two of the computers, and my friend ended up giving me like giving me like a computer case. Boom, I had like a computer that I paid I think like $500 for. That was like really like solid. Like I think it was like if I would have sold that, I probably would have made like $400 or $500, because like the parts in it were like really good, like everything that I had to it. So that's how I got a computer growing up. So it's just I feel like if you're creative enough, you'll find solutions if you have issues.
Dude, yeah, that's a fucking great story right there. That's a super realistic story that someone could take right now and apply that like today, right now, in like the next 10 seconds. You could go into Craigslist and find that. I did it all the time growing up, going to Craigslist to find cheap shit, because like Facebook Marketplace didn't exist back then. Facebook Marketplace is kind of like the modern version of Craigslist. I feel like Craigslist has like a old shtick to it. It kind of looks like a newspaper. I think that's why it
Yeah.
just looks kind of old.
Well,
But
back in the day,
anyways,
there was no such thing as Facebook Marketplace. So it was
yeah,
like that's where you went. And actually, but I like this is something that you guys could do if you don't have money right now. Just go to the free section, Facebook Marketplace, free section of Let Go, free section of all these different places, and you'll see people giving away furniture. And
yeah.
you take that furniture, you could either repaint it, you could sell it as is, and just sell it for a little bit of a markup profit.
Take a
And I'm
better
telling
photo.
you,
I've done that
yeah,
so many times. You literally buy a sofa, or you buy a fucking headrest, or not a headrest, something that goes in the front of the headboard of the bed, and just take a better quality photo with better lighting, and you'll literally sell it for double. It's
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
ridiculous.
Like, there's so much money in the world that's just sitting around, and I feel like if you just apply yourself, just like try to think of some ways. I think everyone should take at least, especially if you're like, if someone's watching this right now and is in that mindset, I think that you should take at least like 30 minutes out of each day and just get a journal. I'll show you my journal. Get a journal, write in it just like things that you think that could improve yourself. So just like write like just bullet points. So just like
Yeah.
bullet point number 1, learn more about NFTs. Bullet point 2, and then at some point that information that you do write down over time will sort of trickle into your head, and you'll start doing it like sort of organically. And I believe in that mentality is if you keep thinking, I'll be successful, I'll be successful, I'll be successful, it'll sort of come along. And I really do believe that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm huge on manifestation. I have some old journal. I don't know if it's in my desk right here. No, it's upstairs. But I'm huge on manifestation. There's a little affirmation I wrote in the beginning of 2020 or 2021. It literally said I'll be a YouTuber. And it happened. Like I just like wrote it down all the time. I was like, I'm going to be a filmmaker. I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it finally happened. And one of them was I want to be a podcast host. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like it actually happened. Like when you write it down enough times, you just start thinking about it. Plus, like for me, I just get fed up at some point of like seeing it in my head, seeing it on paper, and not doing anything. Eventually, I get pissed off. I'm like, why the fuck am I so lazy? Why am I not doing this? Like I could just do it right now. Why am I not doing it? And at some point, I'll just do it. Like I've been trying to get out of this procrastination cycle I've been on for like 2 months. And then one day I was like, okay, what is the one thing that keeps me so that keeps screwing me over? Like, why do I keep failing here? Why do I keep pushing everything back? It's like, well, I start my day by procrastinating with the things I need to do by going on my phone. And at the end of the day, I procrastinate going to sleep by going on my phone. So I end the day and I start the day the worst way. And then I push off my workout to the end of the day, to literally the last second I could possibly go. I was like, so my whole day is just me procrastinating everything. That's why I'm procrastinating. So I was like, okay, I'm so miserable now. I'd literally rather wake up and go run than feel like this every day for the last 2 months, because I was festering in my head all the time. So I'm huge on manifestation.
Yeah, bro. I literally like I'd bring it right now, but I had a whiteboard where I wrote all my goals, and bro, like it was insane. Like I think like not even 7-8 months after writing all those, writing the goals on a whiteboard, I have it like above my computer, like my monitor.
Yeah.
Not right now because I don't like I already got rid of the list, but I had like it's like a whiteboard list of everything that I wanted to accomplish, and bro, it was insane. 7 months later, everything on that list was checked off, which was wild. Like I think it was like bro, it was like I'm trying to find. I took a picture of the whiteboard because I wanted to save
Let's
that.
fucking go. That's huge facts though about yeah, when you write things down, like you'd be surprised like how much of it comes true. Like it's weird. You'll write it and almost feel silly because you're like, that's not gonna fucking happen. Like there's no possible way I will actually accomplish that. And a year later, you're like, damn, a whole lot of shit has happened since I wrote that. Like a whole lot of shit. And if you're even gonna take like small steps, like it's wild to me the fact that I haven't made that many big decisions that were terrifying. I just kind of did a bunch of stuff, and it kind of just builds and builds and builds until a year later you're like, whoa, I kind of done something cool here. And it's good to see. I think that's how most big things are built. That's why when someone who's like super famous goes on an interview and they're like, how'd you get here? They're like, I don't know, man. I just kind of did stuff, and one thing led to another. I met this person, did this whole thing, signed here, and next thing you know, I'm here.
Yeah, I just found the sheet. I checked this list off in November 25, 2021. I lowered the brightness so hopefully
Cool.
you could see it. But like this is the list. So it might be a little hard to see.
Whoa.
So
okay,
like,
yeah. Will you read those out to me?
Hit 6 figures by January 1st. This was like 2021. Like this was like I think almost a year ago. Hit 6 figures, check. Hit 150K, check. Hit 750K, check. hit 10K on Twitter, because this was like, or like I didn't even have
Yeah.
one, I didn't even have like I don't think 500 followers at the time. So 10K on Twitter, check. Eat less shitty foods. I didn't check that off because I still eat like shit. Get 10K on YouTube, check. Make more business connections. I didn't check that just because I feel like it's kind of hard to check off and say that you completed that, because
Sure.
you could always make more business connections. Make more content and provide value. Didn't put a check on that because I feel like you could always provide more. And 1 million by 25, I didn't check because this is old. But
yeah, damn, dude.
all those things, like it was insane. I remember checking off everything like one by one. And it's like, bro, like it was like, holy shit. Like I didn't write anything on that list that I was like ever expecting to hit. So I was like it was insane.
Legend, bro. That's super fucking cool that you have that. That is super fucking cool. Yeah.
I actually have a list over there. I'll
try it.
I have a list over there, like in my room.
Just like, okay. What does it say? Is it the same stuff?
Just like very similar.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. Just like I didn't check anything off yet, unfortunately, but maybe one day.
Wait, tell me what your biggest one on there, or like what's the one you want to happen the most? Let's manifest this right now.
Bro, I really want to have like a $1 million year for sure. I feel like that'd be really cool. But you never know what will happen. So
that'd be fucking crazy. That'd be fucking crazy, dude.
Also having Gary V would be sick. Like just for like a video or something, like just like talk with Gary V or like
some kind of interaction. Like
yeah.
Dude, fucking Andres got that chance the other day. You saw that video?
Yeah, I saw the video. It fucking insane, bro.
Fucking
like he was just talking with Gary. He was just like vibing out. It was really cool. Like
it's gonna be trippy when you do that, because you've seen so many videos of him talking that even when he's talking to the camera, so you feel like it's already happened. But I imagine being there in his presence, standing there while he actually is giving his attention to you. That's gotta be a little bit trippy.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching Gary V for a long time. Like even like before NFTs and stuff like that. Like I was always watching Gary V and stuff. So it's really cool, just like seeing him and shit.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. He's a big inspiration for a lot of people, especially in the NFT space. But I imagine most people found him. I feel like people who are really big Gary Vee fans probably found him way before NFTs. I mean, it's not really that got me super excited about him. It was kind of just his mindset, like go do your shit. Go push off college if you need to. Like do whatever you got to do to not hate your life in your 20s. Just go after stuff. And then, okay, so I wanted to jump in a little bit WGMI, but first, someone, VP, asked what your most profitable flip was in NFTs. I don't know if you want to talk about it. You can.
I honestly have no idea. Time horizons, if that's what you mean, but like just straight up, like my most profitable flip was, I think I bought a plasma bear for like 0.3 or 0.5 ETH, because this was right after a FaZe Banks shill on his Instagram story, where he used to shill things all the time. Like FaZe Banks, like whenever he shilled something, it would like easily like go up like 5 ETH or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
What I did at the time was I bid on every single plasma bear, and I got, I think like 5 or 6 plasma bears that day, and I sold them each for about 5 ETH profit. So
wow.
Yeah, so at the time, wow. I think I made like a little over like 40K in a day or something like that. So
holy shit. That is fucking insane, dude. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. VP, that's your answer right there. That is fucking nuts. Mine is nowhere close to that. Mine's definitely, I don't even know. Mine probably was a biopill, the bioverse ecosystem. I did really well there. I bought those like 3 or 4 months before. I was just confused. I was like, why isn't this project doing better? I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna hold these. And then they got all the free airdrops. So I ended up just selling all of them basically, and I just got like a shit ton of money for free. I paid like 0.1 ETH or 0.2 ETH for it. So biopills is probably my biggest flip. I think. Maybe Evaverse. I did really well with Evaverse. I think originally I got that call from Alex Becker like a long time ago, and then everyone forgot about it. And so I just picked up a couple more and ended up flipping those for a solid pump when they partnered with Doge Pound. But anyways, let's jump into WGMI. So you're one of the co-founders for WGMI. What was the mindset when you guys built it, and then how much has it changed since then?
Originally when we built it, we just wanted it to be a podcast. But I'm like, because like originally it was going to be like a podcast idea, and it was going to be like a 20K set, because we wanted to like have everyone involved in the podcast. But then I told Bento and Brett at the time, I'm like, I think podcasts are like for an NFT, I think that it's kind of like there's no real reason to make you can just make a podcast for free. Like there's no reason to only have a podcast for an NFT unless like you do like some sort of like, I get where they were coming from, but I'm like, what we should do though is, because at the time there was like no like real news presence in Web3. There was Rug Radio, but I don't think Rug Radio is even news. I think it's like more so just like generalized information on what's going on. I don't think that they have like a news platform.
Yeah.
So we're like I originally told them, like, I'm like, this is like the perfect thing. Like, I don't see anyone like talking about projects, upcoming sections and stuff like that. Like, of course, like there's an upcoming section, like I think in I forgot the name of it. What's that platform where everyone used to like look at upcoming projects like way back in the day?
Nansen? Oh, is
Rarity
it
Tools.
That's
yeah,
it.
Rarity Tools. Like back in the day, Rarity Tools used to be the shit. But I'm
my
like,
God, dude,
bro,
I'm getting like nostalgia thinking about that.
yeah, so I'm like, bro, like we need to have a Rarity Tools, but like good, because Rarity Tools, the only reason they were able to sustain and make their money and to keep the platform up is because they had sponsors for it. So like they would put like really shitty projects mixed in with the good ones. So I was like, okay, we should put every good project on, rank it, and give full write-ups, like a page and a half, 2 pages long, on just like explaining why this project is good, why this project is bad, and give a star rating like out of 5. So that's what we've been doing since then.
Very cool.
And just a bunch of cool stuff like that. And like the media aspect was more of like a later term decision. And I was like I really thought that it could be massive, because there's just so much untapped potential for making a media company, especially in a space where it's just like there's like no media coverage. Like you'll see an article come out from like Forbes or something if someone hops into the NFT space, like obviously, but you won't have any articles covering about, like, for example, Voltura making another, like a secondary sub collection. You won't see like an article coming out from like one of these like major companies about that, but you'll see it on WGMI, where it's just like, Voltura, owner of Psychedelics Anonymous, is working on new project Izu in upcoming collaboration or something, like just something like that. So it's like, it's a little bit different, and it's more so in that niche of Web3 and NFT. So it's directly from people who are in the space directly to people who are in the space, and not like so much of a Web2 disconnect, if that makes sense. Because I feel like there's just so much disconnect in the Web2 world with NFTs. I actually saw, and this is no hate on an NFT now, but I saw like they have like a top 100 influencer list or something, but I only knew like 3 people on that list. So it's like
Wait,
if I don't know
who is this company.
I'll send you the list.
Yeah, send me that. I want to see. I want to see if I recognize anyone there too.
Yeah, someone sent it to me, but like they didn't have like most of the people who are on the list, like I didn't really know. I'm gonna send it in the private chat.
Okay.
I don't know how to share.
That's fine.
Like straight up, no diss to them, but just like the people who are on that list, like I would like to say I only know a couple, like at most. Like I genuinely like it's just so random to me, because it just doesn't make sense. Because like it just seems like they don't really understand the space as much as I do, and the people I know in the space.
Okay, here we go. I got it. All right.
I don't know if you can pull it up or whatever.
Yeah, I can. Let's see. Let me pull it up here on this page, actually.
And the only reason I bring it up is because someone actually added me in it. So I was like, okay, I'll look at it.
Okay. All right, fam. You're getting an inside look. So here it is. Is this right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple people who I do know. I think 3 is a little under exaggeration, but like most people on this list are
Andrew
just like,
Wang. Isn't this the founder of Cool Cats?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Andrew Wang is the Upside Down Cool Cat owner.
Shit. Okay.
But like,
wait,
there's a couple
influencers? Names. These are fucking companies.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Beeple, anyway. I guess. I mean, yeah, he's like a public figure. I don't know if he's like a.
Yeah, like leader. you'll see a cool one here and there, but
okay.
But like the majority just like kind of random.
Okay, I recognize his name. I know he does the. Isn't he the Rug Radio guy?
Yeah, that's Farouk.
Okay, I don't know much about him other than that, and then people either hate him or love him. I feel like he's like a beanie character.
Yeah, I don't like to speak on things I'm not too sure on. So
yeah, I don't know anything about him.
A little bit of a chill pill. But
wait, isn't this K Money?
Yeah, this K Money.
Oh, this K Money. Let's go. I was gonna say I recognize the profile picture. That's funny. This is actually kind of cool. Yeah, I recognize fucking barely anyone here. Just basically the people I just brought up.
You'll scroll through the list and you'll notice like a person here and there. But like it just feels like what has Paris Hilton done for this bit? Like I just don't get it.
Dude, did you see the video? Here, hold on. There was a video that Gary Vee did. I think it was like a daily. He was like traveling. I think it was in Paris, and him and Paris Hilton did like a joined stage talk thing. And I remember they were filming, and oh my God, that was such an awkward like 2-minute conversation. Like I don't think he knew what to say. He was just like, "What?" It's like I don't think he knew what she was doing. I don't think. Do you know what she's doing in the NFTs? I know she's like she reps them, but.
I have no idea. I mean, I understand like Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. Like they're into the Bored Ape Yacht Club space, and Eminem's into the Bored Ape Yacht Club space. But like but to call them like NFT influencers, I don't know if I'd call them that, because they're not known for that. But they talk about NFTs sometimes. I feel like it's a bit of a disconnect from like that.
Zeneca, I see Voltura at the bottom. I feel like rugged everybody. I didn't show everybody, but there's Steve Aoki in there, Snoop. That's pretty much it. I feel like everybody else
The
I
thing
don't
is,
really
there's
know.
like no one in the actual Web3 space. I've no like
I'm
only like
surprised not even like
huge,
Elio or Journey Crypto or some of those OG crypto
yeah,
NFT
that's what I'm saying.
YouTubers.
Like
You know,
like yeah, I thought that was kind of silly in my opinion. I guess I think it was made by a voting system, so maybe that's also why. So
okay,
who
yeah,
knows?
it potentially could be. Yeah, that is super weird. None of the YouTubers at all. Not even a single one. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a little odd. Like I'm surprised Niftyverse isn't on there because
yeah, dude, I was gonna say he's probably our
he's the
like
top. He's the
yeah
top
him or
YouTuber.
Giancarlo.
Yeah, I don't think John Carlos on there either. So it's like what? Like what do you mean top Web3 NFT influencers?
Y'all should make one, bro. WGMIs.
WGMI is top
Do
100.
it.
We probably could. I feel like it's almost sending shots back at them though. So I don't know if I'd even want to
That's
make it
true.
seem like it's a beef. So
That's true. Yeah, I did wonder what you guys thought about, like, because you guys are competing with like the drop. I guess you'd be competing with who the fuck else? Blockworks maybe. I don't know if they're like fully Web3 or if they're more just. I guess they are pretty much fully Web3. But
well, we're also working on more of just like a entertainment aspect as well. That's I don't know if you've seen like the K Money aspect. We have K Money like hopping in
Yeah.
a van and just interviewing people and stuff. So we have like more of like a fun aspect. It's not only just news because I feel like news is kind of overplayed already. Like we're seeing more and more people hop into the news space, but there's only so many people who can make like entertainment content in the space. So it's like that's what we're also kind of gearing a little bit towards. And I feel like it's very untapped in that aspect for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. You're definitely going to be one of the people pioneering the space because it's not yet clear like how people are going to make money other than the sponsorships. And right now they might be dry, like they might be drier than normal because people are scared to build. Like I can't even tell you the amount of projects. Well, I'm sure you know the projects I kept pushing back their mints, thinking it might be better next week, and I'm like, look, if you can't launch right now, you're not going to be any better in 1 week. I promise you.
Yeah, especially right now in the bearish markets, it's very scary for a lot of people who are running companies because they have to generate some money, and a lot of them like they don't want to rug, but I mean they kind of have to. Like, what are they gonna do? Just like lay off everyone and just like run it all by themselves, like by hand? Like a lot of the times they can't. It's just and it's unfortunate, but it's like, think of it like just like a failed startup. You know, like there's something you could really do about it. That sense, like I don't like a lot of these companies they don't have negative intentions or like bad intentions, but it's kind of unfortunate. And that's something that we do have to sort of understand from a business perspective is that not every startup sort of succeeds.
I agree. And this literally popped in my head 2 seconds ago. I don't know how this came up. I haven't seen this movie in fucking at least a decade. The Mummy, the first one with Brandon Fraser. Do you know this movie?
No.
Dude, this is an old movie. Okay, so anyways, I'm sure there's some people in here who have seen it. It's a bit of an older movie, I would say, but it has the Mummy, and the guy Ricochet O'Connell is the character. He's played by Brandon Fraser, and he's on a boat, and they're like, "Hey man, like Rick, you want to hop in and do a round?" They're playing poker or something. And he's like, "No, I don't gamble with my money, only my life." And I thought it was interesting because when I did my NFT project, it's not an NFT project. It's like my NFT art photography stuff. And then after I started doing YouTube, people were like, "Hey, is this anything?" And I was like, "No, not really." And then I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Like, yeah, those are my Genesis like access keys or something." And so whatever I end up doing in my life, that's where I'll just attribute all that any kind of value that I can, it'll just go to them just because I can. And there's so few of them. And that's kind of the way I look at NFT projects being more successful, especially for people who don't know anything and they're worried about that, like generating money. It's like, for me, like I'm not dependent on the royalties. And plus, like no one in my community even sells anyway. Like most of them have held it since they first bought it like 9 months ago. And because of that, like there's no real pressure from either side for anyone because they're like, okay, well, like as long as Kate is just net positive, as long as he's on a trajectory that's somewhat on an incline, we're good to go because it should just get better over time. And I feel like for me, that's like the best way for an influencer to do it because if they drop a collection, like I know Tom is doing it, NFT Nate's doing it, they're dropping collections of their own that are kind of like not an alpha pass, but something along those lines. And it's going to be like a few $1,000s, I think, to buy in. And I'm like, that's a lot of fucking pressure to deliver. Like you have to deliver something tangible. Otherwise you're going to get labeled as a rug pull or something,
Yeah, I think especially in the space, there's the connotation whenever like you see like that money aspect and people are like, oh, like they're making all this money, blah, blah, blah. Like in reality, you need a lot of money to run a business. People who don't really see that, it's kind of unfortunate that people like sort of think that way, that it's just like that people have bad intentions and they're out to get them almost. But running a business is very expensive. I think with WGMI, we expensed about like, well, last month we expensed about like $50,000. So it's like very expensive. So like, and do that every single month for a while. So it's very expensive, man, running a business. So people don't really understand that, but like
that's the issue, dude. The shareholders, like, it's not only are most of the shareholders uneducated, most of the shareholders are trying to get something out of it, and versus like when you invest in a company, I mean, yeah, I guess you're trying to get out of it. But most people who invest in like the companies and like the stock world, they're looking to hold that NFT, or not the NFT. They're looking to hold that stock for a couple of years, 5 to 10 years usually. So like their best interest is the company to grow, but it's like they're like rooting for it. Versus when other people mint an NFT, they're waiting for the like mint day is payday for them basically, right? And if it doesn't go payday for them, they get pissed off and they sell the project because they didn't care anyway. They were just there to make money off the flip, and that's kind of where we're at in the sad reality. But it's, I mean, I guess it has to start from somewhere or something like that. Like I guess that's how crypto started. But
Yeah, I think that's what's going to stop a lot of NFT flipping is when people stop seeing those like instant crazy gratification returns, and that's when good projects will actually start getting minted, in my opinion.
yeah,
Because I feel like that's the mindset a lot of people have, is to buy things just to initially flip, and that's the mindset right now. It's just people are like, oh, is this going to make me money or not? Because if not, I won't buy it. So it's like,
yeah,
that's all it really is, in my
yeah.
opinion.
That's currently the meta. that is currently the meta. Okay, this is a question that popped up that I forgot to ask earlier. Do you have any low points in the NFT space where you were just like super feeling like shit the entire time?
Not really, bro. It was almost like euphoric. Like it was insane. It almost felt like I was just like super high on drugs like the entire time. Because it was like every single day I would wake up and make like an insane, unfathomable amount of money. And imagine waking up, making $10,000, and then doing it again the next day, and then doing it again the next day, and then doing it again the next day, and then this day, oh, I actually made 30,000. Then doing it the day after that. It's like it was insane. Like the euphoria period was, it was one of the most fun times in my life, I think, because it was just like I was just hanging out with all my online friends, just like buying stuff, just like effing around, and just like making tons of money in the process. And all those people who were like talking shit on me for buying a dog profile picture in the beginning were like, yo, bro, teach me. Yo, bro, teach me.
Exactly.
So it's like it's a big mindset change for sure.
Legend, dude. All right. Well, listen. Well, while we come to the end here, I want to do a rapid fire Q&A. You ready for this?
Yes.
All right. I always start with this question. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Fuck, dude. You are literally we are 7 for 7 on blue. Every single dude I've interviewed has been blue. I don't know what it is about blue that we like. I also have it back there. Blue is just it for us.
Yeah,
hey,
blue is the
Corey's
best color.
I think it might be, dude. It might be. Blue is up there. I don't know what. I don't even know what comes next. Like I don't have a second answer to that. I guess it is blue. So, yeah. Fuck. All right. Coach's favorite color is blue. Where do you want to retire?
In a house.
Where?
I don't know. With my
Doesn't
dog.
matter.
I mean, I don't really. I'm not. I don't even go outside. Why does it matter where I go?
Well, I was gonna say, like, do you live in New York? You've been there your whole life, right?
Yeah, I always lived in New York. I live right now. I was about to say like my address. I live like, I don't know. I'd like to say like I'm like in Queens, New York. So it's like if I was going outside, like if I just sent you a picture like of the outside of my house, it's just like you'll see a big building, you'll see a bank, and you'll see a deli. So just like that's what I see when I go outside. I don't see like nice trees and luscious plains. And I mean, maybe one day that's what I kind of want. It's like I go outside and like, oh, like it's nice and beautiful out. But right now it kind of looks like not a slum, but it looks kind of like very I don't know the word. But
all right. Sounds good. Well, we appreciate the physical description. You don't need to dox. I think, was it Cody NFTs? I think he said he's literally doxed his like social security number during the middle of a stream by accident, just like not paying attention.
Yeah,
fucking wild, dude. That is fucking wild.
I don't even know how you dox that. I don't even know.
Why is that on your computer, bro? I'm like, I just memorized it. I don't have that written down anywhere though. I feel like I memorized it a few years ago. My Asian mother just yelled at me enough times till I burned it in my fucking head, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I know my social security number. I have it somewhere, I think.
The only reason I memorized it actually was part of the reason because she kept yelling at me, but also because every time I filled out like applications and stuff, I always had to know it, and I just hated having to like continuously go back and check it. So I memorized that and like my debit card and credit card information, just so I don't have to like pull it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, with me, bro, even when I was like whenever I'd like would get doxxed or something, I was never of age to do anything, because whenever I made a Shopify account or like bro, I got banned on PayPal like 5 times. I lost
Did you?
a few hundred. Yeah, I lost a few $100 like when I was like 15, 16, because like I wasn't of age, and to use PayPal you have to be over 18. And I was like 13 at the time. So they wanted me to present my ID information, and I tried withdrawing all the money I had in the account because I didn't have the stuff, and they locked the account like immediately. So I the second I turned 18, I was able to withdraw it, but it's like we locked it for like years and years and years, and
You got
even
your
with like
$200 out.
yeah, and even with like TikTok, like they wanted me to like, because I used to do TikTok videos back in the day. I made like a few $100 on TikTok just
Nice.
making like TikToks, and they wanted me to verify my identification. I wasn't over 18. They wanted me to show that I paid taxes. Never paid taxes before, so I was like, it was like maybe like 17 or something at that time. So I was still like, it was such a pain in the ass, bro. I hated being young because you need to be over 18 to do anything legally. So it's like,
Yeah.
to make money, it's always such a pain in the ass. And especially for people who are listening, and if you're under that age limit, it's like, it's a world of difference between being like the numbers wise, it doesn't make any difference. I still feel like I'm like a 15-year-old at heart.
Right.
I don't think I'm like a 21-year-old. I just, it's such a pain in the ass because logistical reasons, you're not allowed to work until you're over the age of this and that, which is so stupid in my opinion. I think that everyone should be able to work whenever they want to work, but it's just the child labor laws and the reasons that things get passed because of the bad actors that are in every single aspect as to why any laws are really made. And same as if someone gets into a car accident at a certain street where there's a stop sign, they'll sort of change that street to sort of fit that. And that's just how the world sort of works, is you sort of pick up on that a little bit along the way as you sort of grow up.
Yeah, and especially if you don't have, like, for example, if you want your parents to sign something for you to just like for the legal reason, unless you have a parent that like you can trust, which is not as many parents as I thought. Like I was lucky in that sense. Like I could trust my parents. If there's $20 on the table, like no one's going to touch that $20 unless it's theirs. That's just the way my family is, probably because my mom's Japanese and that's just like a thing there. You can literally leave your wallet on the street and nobody will pick it up. Like it's just super safe there. So I grew up with that, but I remember one of my best friends, Austin, totally opposite, straight up like out of like the country. It felt like if you left $1 or a quarter on the table, that shit was getting swiped within 30 seconds. They didn't give a shit. And so he couldn't do something like that. He's like, I love my parents, but I could not trust them with money. And I was just like, that's very interesting. You know, like the things that you have that you take for granted.
Yeah, it's a bit sad almost when you have that mentality, but
yeah,
I was very blessed in that sense too. My mom never like took anything away from me. Only I used to give my mom money though to pay bills sometimes, like if we really needed it. Even now, like I think she had a like because like she had like a lawyer because my parents are divorced, and you got to pay the lawyer over time. So what I did was I paid off her lawyer because she's been trying to pay this lawyer off for so long. I gave her like I think like $40-something thousand just to pay this lawyer off because all these years, just like because it's bro, it's such a pain in the ass, the legal system. It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, paid her lawyer off, and yeah, I think that especially if you have the position to sort of do something like that, I feel like it's a great thing to do to help your family first, because I feel like a lot of other people like they worry about themselves a lot more than they do their family, and those people, and they prioritize making other people happy when you should sort of prioritize your family as well in that sense, because you only get one family. But your friends 100%. Come and go always.
Yeah, 100%. Like one of the things I want to do if I ever get big, rich, and famous is like my dad. He loves to travel and do fun shit, but he only ever does it if he gets like a big promotion or if he makes like a big bag or something, like something random where he just has a little bit of extra money. He'll usually spend that on a trip. But one of the things he had to give up growing up was he had a mountain cabin. We bought like a second house basically just to go to like the mountains and stuff. He loves the mountains. And so one of the things I want to do is get like a second house for him. So he always has that like man cave type deal, because he just likes to run out there and escape every now and then. He's like a super nature dude. He just loves to be out there by himself if he can, just go hiking and whatnot. And he had to sell that when we were growing up because we just didn't have the money to maintain both the houses. And I don't think he was good enough at like Airbnb to make that work. And so he lost that. I remember one of the things I wanted to do was hopefully I do that, even though that would be a super expensive thing, but it would be cool.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially in life, there's you have to make sort of sacrifices to get things that you want in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And that's just how things go.
Yeah, man. Facts. I see Corey's in the house, another fellow YouTuber, says he loves that. Well done. And then I see a couple questions from Total Chad. What is your most exotic pet? Interesting. Do you have any exotic pets?
Not really. I have a parakeet. That's, I guess, the most exotic. I have a dog, golden retriever. She's the best. Her name's Daisy.
Daisy.
Love Daisy. She's the best dog in the world. I actually have her as my screensaver.
Yeah, let's see it. Well, that's adorable as fuck.
Adorable as fuck. Best. She's a good girl.
Daisy the golden retriever. And then we have Igor, NFT Life. I feel like he might be a YouTuber too. Pretty sure he is. What does he make of TikTok for the crypto NFT niche, and has he ever considered running one next to the YouTube vids? Are you okay? I'm not sure. Do you?
I'm not sure the question's being asked.
Yeah,
But I'm assuming what do you mean? I make money, like how much money I made on TikTok? I think my camera just died, unfortunately.
that's totally
Uh,
fine. Do you want to switch to webcam? If you go
um,
to settings right under my head,
I don't
go
have a
to,
webcam. I'm on my computer. I could switch to my laptop, either that, or we could just like I could answer the question, like sort of end it.
yeah, that's fine. Let's just do that.
We've been on for like
We
2 hours.
lost Kosher. Yeah, I just realized we've been going for an hour and a half. There's a cord I can show you. I'll send you the link. You can connect it to your laptop or to connect it to any kind of outlet, and you won't have to run on the battery anymore.
Yeah, I have a wire, but I have to figure out how to connect it. Let me just answer this question real quick. How much money I make off TikTok? I think it was about like $550 in total. I think I acquired not acquired, but I got around, I'd like to say, like 15 million total views or something around those lines.
Jesus.
TikTok doesn't pay that well per view, but
Yeah.
On TikTok it spirals if you have a good amount of views, for sure.
Mhm. True. Yeah, man. And I think that probably answers this question as far as the TikTok game. Are you still making TikToks, by the way? Are you still going hard on TikTok or no?
I'm not. I hated TikTok. I used to make TikTok videos just because, like, bro, the opportunity on TikTok in the beginning was insane. Like, you could have posted pretty much anything and went like super viral. So I posted as much as I could. I posted like 4 or 5 TikToks a day in the
Let's go.
beginning. This was before anything with crypto or NFTs, and I would just do that full time, just like TikTok. Then I would do like Instagram, and then from TikTok, what I would do is I would funnel it into shoe, like I would do shoe content at that time. So I would like funnel what I'm doing with shoes and like have people reach out to me on my Instagram for my shoe stuff. So like I'd be like, oh yeah, I just got this pair of shoes in, blah blah. Make a video like reviewing the shoe, talking about the shoe, just stuff like that, and it'd be like a really good funnel, so I could have people like sort of come on and buy shoes off me on my Instagram and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, listen, I think that's a great place to stop. Do you want to? Well, I mean, we don't have a choice now because you rugged us. Kosher rugged us at the very end, fam. Do you have anyone you wanted to shout out?
No, just shout out to everyone who's supporting me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I love the position I'm in, and just shout out to the world. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to the world, guys. If you made it to the end, one, thank you. I know some of you guys have been here since the very beginning. Code words you made to the end. Kosher plug in the chat. I want to see Kosher plug. Spam the chat. If this is not your first episode with us, OG, you guys know the drill. OG, spam the chat. We appreciate you. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. All Kosher stuff is in the description below. We fucking appreciate the hell out of you. And that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's posting more videos. He's going to get that day in the life. He's got a potential Rolex giveaway in the future. So it should be a good time.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Hell yeah, man. All right, guys. Welcome. Continue on your Joyage. Continue to learn. And we're grateful you're live watching this video. Bye. And 3, 2,